looking to come off of an initial thrust, or are you looking at just...
I'm trying to make my opponent run into me, counterpunching. And then one of the moves was, you know, that block right here. If instead of coming in like this, coming out of the butt, like my wife said, I don't know how well that works. Because I did it to the new guy at practice, and I was like, it's a freaking new guy.
Yeah. Well, that's what you got to work, right? You got to work it on and me going half speed and dicking around will give you some good ones. All right, cool.
Make sure if you're using your butt spike that you don't have your hand all the way down.
Yeah. I gotta try and slide that.
Yeah, because if you're all the way down and you slap up like that, people feel like you punched them over your basket or your.
Yeah, they're not going to call it a thrust because they're not going to feel it like a thrust. All right. That's the get-go, right? And I'm already processing problems with it. So I'll be able to, let's do it a few, and I'll be able to refine it, and then we'll figure it out. Okay. Ready? Doesn't help that I stepped away either. I don't like I stepped away. So your first shot, you ready to break this down a little? We want a couple more.
I'm recording it. Do what you want.
All right, so you really can't. It's kind of weird. Can you? How do we want to break some of the, like? Can you hold the sword and shield while I do it, kind of thing?
Sure.
And my techniques are going to be even weirder than yours to an extent, right? Obviously, I'm not going to. This open side. So right there. And then Hans, step over there so you can see what I'm talking about. So in your first attempt, you took your shot, boom, I came in. Let's do this again. So I came in, you went here,
yeah.
But you didn't like come here like a block, right?
Yeah.
Normally when you do that, you're like, boom, I'm blocking, right?
Yeah.
You came and you were like, I'm going to thrust you in the face. Like right away, everything red thrust.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So I backed off. So that was easier block, right?
Okay.
And I keep wanting to switch it this way, which is bad. But this hand forward feels so weird to me now. Trying to think. Your next one, you came, you thrust, boom, he came in, you clipped across the shield. But look, as soon as I clipped that shield, I didn't really have an effect.
Yeah.
And right away, again, he read that thrust, and now he's shut down for it, right? So the way you disengaged out here made it more vulnerable, made you more vulnerable than not, and I'm way open over there, right? The one you did at the end that I liked the most, you go ahead. So we're here, you thrust, boom, he comes. You went this, like you got here and tried to press it down. See how he's like buttoned now?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know what's going on because I'm trying to rip this down and he doesn't want me. He's putting the force back up into this. and then you stepped out and went here. Boom. I feel like you want to, so when you're here, you can get on top of this like that.
Yeah.
Right? When you step out, you're going to want to come there. Boom. Or into the leg, yeah.
Well, hip, leg, something. But
Yeah.
if they're up this far, like you didn't block that as badly as I did. I threw that up higher.
Yeah.
You blocked it better than that. But if their vision is scared, especially, like I can see his blade, right?
Yeah.
But I can't see him very well. So what he could do out of that is sidestep it.
Yeah.
So you could even try to do like a double one, where you could like push like you're going this way a bit, but then step here from down.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So I'm here, and I want to cut away from his weapon right now. So I cut here, and then here.
Right, because they'll push back.
Yeah.
Then if you don't have to do a lot, like come here a sec, just so you get the feel for it. So we're up in that thing, right? We're here like this. So if you make it feel like you're going this way, and then I push back, and you feel the pushback, then you just circle around. Like you get this hand closer to this hand. Because watch, you see, like you hit it there because I'm not trying real hard. But if you do that again, and I push back into it when I see you slide, that's harder, right? Like you don't have that angle anymore. Move this hand up here. Oops, sorry. Move it up, and then it's a lot easier to make that turn because your hands are closer. When they're too far out, the focal point or the point is here,
Okay.
right? That's where he bends. If he moves his hand to here, it's here. That's a much smaller circle. It's much easier to move around. When your hands are wide, you can get some power and stability out of it. It's a good hard block. Like you can stop that really good. When your hands are closer, it's a little weaker. So putting them right on each other, like you put this hand right. So if I'm here like this, and I do that, see how it moves a little bit? Now move it, yeah, a little bit. Much more stable, right? And down here, it's super stable. But then you can't hit me. So that's a lot harder. When your hands are closer, it's a lot more effective. And that'll make a fast, tight circle. It's like having a shorter sword versus a longer sword.
Becky's ready. You just put it there.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
And all you have
that's
to do
an
to
issue.
change it is just loosen this one. You don't have to open your hand. Just loosen it a touch and pull this hand towards. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pull this hand to this. No. Like keep this one in grip. Loosen this one. Pull the
pull.
whole thing down.
Yeah, that's it.
That way you don't open your hand when it's sealed.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they can
it's not, right? It's not this or even this. It's like he said, it's this. Because I want this to block me, right? So why am I going to come all the way out here and then bring it in? I'm bringing it to block me. Block me. Boom. Right? Yeah.
It's quick and it keeps your hands from being a tell.
That's a good way to say that. I've never heard you say that before, and it's smart.
Yeah, I was shown by other people, so it was like,
Yeah, but that's a tell.
Yeah, it's
And the
tough.
other thing you run into, like, so let's say I'm Lars, right? I guarantee you, if you're out here like this, and you start to come here and see your hand come up, it's going to be going nuts on something.
Yeah.
Like in that one, it's trying to knock your weapon over because I know your hand's loose. So I want to hit this way, but I don't want to use my sword because I want to be able to hit you. But I know for a moment at least you can't hit me with that end. Because what are you going to do? You're going to try to slap me with it when the shield's here? Like, that's just not going to work, right? So then you're screwed. It just, you got to play your odds. He's playing odds in his head when it's a good time to jump and where it's a good time to jump. The part of that is, like, if I present this, he's going to see this, right? And he's going to see this. So he's going to decide which one's the fake and which one's the attack, right? So he's going to decide, like, if I'm here, this is a much harder face, so he's going to go for that leg more. But if I know that the leg, like, if I left that out intentionally, and I'm good, then he's going to maybe feint at the leg and bring it back around to the head, right? Because if I bite it all, if I'm out here like this and he goes for this, right? Or the other one you could do is
It would have been a cut the other way around.
it's hard
I
because
know-
you're right hand back. So for this example, because he's doing right hand back, I get that.
Yeah.
Because you've got to really the big answer on this a lot of times is do something to keep this busy, and then rotate around and come back to the side. Will give you a body shot. It also gives you the arm sometimes, but you're going into the weapon, which is often more dangerous. But you're mixed. Most of the people you fight are right hand. So, which is why I like left hand back because it leaves all these openings.
yeah.
But you do have a sneaky one. You can do the thing I used to do to hurry up. So go in your thrust guard real quick. So see where you're at there, and I can see it.
Yeah.
Move your point here. So then I have to open up to see it, right? Or I have to do something to see it. But if you keep that hidden, like down in this section of the shield somewhere, if I can get to here, just reach out with your arms a little bit to make up some range, right? Where am I open? Where's the easiest place to hit me right now? No, my left eye.
Oh yeah.
Left
Okay.
eye.
Left eye.
Back here. Because there's nowhere to go, right? Like, I don't have my helmet on, so this is hard. Here, do the Lars real quick.
You can just get your helmet too.
Yeah, that's true. I can do that.
So now this first like this, percentages, like oh they want to throw
Yeah, they want those
a wrap or a flat, right? You
Yeah.
get most of that like bringing it out here like this,
Yeah.
and most people keep charging through. So
Then you step. Yeah, and you do that very powerfully. Like that's my whole gist fighting you is I come to that range, I bait that shot, I soak it on the hilt.
Yeah.
You're probably going to start machine gunning at that point. So I soak it on the hilt until I can transfer it to the shield, and then I attack it.
you're quicker with me too.
Yeah. But
I think the whole team's gotten better with that too.
again, learning to fight me is different than learning to fight other people, right? Like that's a whole nother mountain to climb.
That shot missed.
Yeah. What's that?
You can't do that shot missed.
Oh, good. So it's good that they're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to figure out alternatives.
So then I had to switch to the leg.
Yeah. I like that one. So go ahead. You were working on a point.
Yeah. So a lot of them are going to be out here like this somehow, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually right up there.
Yep. So
No, it's
hide
just-
it down a bit, right?
Yeah.
So now I can still see you, but I can't see the point. I can see your arm, so I have a rough idea where I think it is. The target is here.
Okay.
So what you're doing is you're making up ground behind the shield where I can't see it. So extend your arms closer to the shield. So you should be about 8-9 inches away from me, right?
Yeah.
So when it seems like I'm settled, just pop me in the eye. Nope,
No.
the eye.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
hold on.
You went right down the middle.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Better.
No. Watch.
Yeah.
Step over there.
Okay.
So you're here,
Yeah.
right? And you're watch the angle that you're doing here.
Yeah.
You're here and you're going like this, right?
Yeah.
You want to kick this in.
Oh, okay,
Here,
okay. Yeah, twist
Boom.
it. Yep, got it.
Right. So I'm here. Bang.
Yeah, that's better.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, the first one missed because I'm not good at the weapon form. But the concept is correct.
Yes. Yeah, you can twist your back hand. You don't have to do anything with your front hand at all.
Yeah, the front hand stays the same. That's what I think I screwed up.
Most of the control is here. This hand is just a level set, mostly. So you're going this way and this way. The back hand is doing the angles. You know, you're doing all that kind of weird shit with the back hand. So if you... Let me show you what this is. I don't know if you get your arm in there. So you hear like this, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It's just that.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to be here. I'm trying to get over here. I'm just a bit far enough that you might trigger, you might not. But you can't see the point right now, right?
No.
If I throw it straight, it hits your shield.
Yeah.
Right? So I just need to be just a touch off center and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I suck my right hand.
Another
For me,
thing.
it'd be like this against lefties. It's just like boom that. Right? And
Yeah.
even wrong hand with wrong shield, it still works. It's just
I have another thing I kind of want to try off this. Go ahead and.
I don't even know how to use this thing. It's so awesome.
It is awkward. And I'm thinking like double pumpy, right? So one of the places the shield is. So you're here and you drift, and he's gonna want to close it a little, right? Because I'm here. Yeah. See how he's closing that? So when I'm here, what I want to do, you do that eye is open right now, so I would just take that. But another thing is this, like pump here, then there. See how I'm kind of like getting guard? I kind of like close the shield a little. So
Okay.
it closes the shield, and then I come there. Boom.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's not bad. It's the same kind of concept of
I do it with a sword thrusty,
right. Go
but it's quicker.
One of the things, like say we're here, right?
Yeah.
I could just try to go boom and throw at you. If I do this here with this, that's easier
Yeah.
because your muscles tighten,
Yeah.
right? And it's just understanding how muscles work.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a push-pull aspect to muscles, right? In a sense, like you have one set to pull this way and one set to pull that way. When they both fire, they lock.
Right.
So when you do that, you get to hear on someone, and you just do that, and they tighten, they can't react.
Yeah.
Like they have a moment where their muscles are all tight. Which is why you have to stay loose, right?
And sometimes they'll directly fight against it. You can use that too. So like especially if you've hit him with it before, so he knows it's coming. So I go boom, boom, right? But you see what he does there, right? So instead I go boom, boom, underneath, bam, at that leg. He covered it really nice because he saw it coming, but that's the idea.
It's kind of default. I didn't do much.
Yeah. No, but it's meant to be a read. It's meant to be a, like, if they overcommit to that face block, go low. Otherwise, just hit the face block as much as you want. Just throw the flat snap as much as you can, right? It's just the way it goes. The other one I was thinking was this, and it's a very similar thing to what you were doing before. So we're here, and you come for that initial thrust. He comes in, you do this monkey fuck on top. You see how he fights that?
Yeah.
You jump back for that throw, bam! Right there. I jump back for that throw, and he has to see me now. Like, because he can't see me, he's throwing below.
Yeah, I just.
So he drops that shield on your retreat. So you're looking, I'm going to throw the shot, right? Drops it, bam.
Yeah, I thought you were saying.
Yeah.
I goofed up your thing.
No. I mean, and it's going to get blocked, right? Like, some people are going to pick it up and see it. But some people, you'll time it right when the shield is coming down, and it'll be there. Boom. I also did a bad thing because when I backed up, I jumped back forward. You don't want to do that. You want to back up and just thrust.
Yeah.
Because if you jump back forward, they're going to see your whole body motion. I'm a very springy fighter, so.
The more information you give them, the more they can react.
Yeah.
So you can lie with your movement too, right? So just you use certain movements to lie. That's the same thing he does with getting people to bite on stuff. Is their lies and movement. Like he'll be here and then do this and then attack, and they take this initial foot change as like an attack forward, but he's off-timed it by a step, and then it changed them.
Yeah.
And if they react to that foot movement, either by settling or by attacking, he gets an advantage off that.
Yeah.
It
It also springs the angle I can change. So from here, I'm very likely to attack this side, boom. But I'm unlikely to attack this side like it's clumsy to push forward like this. But if I'm fighting and I go, now I can come this way, boom.
Yep.
So it's a very quick motion that lets me change what angle I do. I'm not suggesting you do that, but
But the concept is
the
there.
concept is the same, yeah. It's also one of those, it's very chess matchy, right? It's like, if I do this opens up, you have to cover it like this, which then opens up this and this, right? So it's making people guess and being practiced enough with the moves to know what the likely outcomes are so that you could jump the next step and be ahead of the game instead of behind.
Yeah. Well, and you're getting to that stage in your game too, where it's not just I'm going to physically do this thing really well.
Yeah.
It's got to be thinking beyond it. Like if you want to beat and be the top end, you have to not just physically be able to throw the shots well and accurate. You have to be able to outthink them and set them up. You have to have a tactic and a plan in there somewhere for what am I going to do to take advantage of this person.
So that circle jerk I do.
Yep.
I guess I don't know what to do after if that shot fails.
So that can vary some, but with right
Your
hand back.
hands are warm.
Yeah. That's awkward.
You know, I feel sore as hell, but the instant I get my armor on, it all goes away.
Yeah, I mean my arms are moving, they're just sore.
Yeah.
So, all right, come here for a second. So you're doing is a reverse, right? Like this?
Yeah.
Are you the right hand forward? Are you correct?
This is his.
Yeah, okay.
So if I'm out here like this and I want to get that. That's so weird.
I thought you threw it really well.
It was accurate.
The only problem was your angle at the end was up instead of down.
Yeah.
And you threw yourself off balance.
I did. So kind of what you want to do. Well, you have a butt spike.
Go through it slow.
This
You
is
don't have to
another
use
place
that.
where. Can I see your weapon stick?
Go through it
I
slow.
rarely use it.
So if you were left hand back, right?
Yeah.
So one place that this is kind of useful. Don't be you. You would have stopped. That's why I didn't want you to be you.
Yeah.
But that aim at the head, step across, stab is one thing you can do on a right hand sword shield left hand back. I do not know how to modify that the way you fight.
It has to be against a lefty.
This you might be able
No,
to.
just walk through it slow. It doesn't have to be full speed.
Well, but the problem is it won't be to that side, right? It would just
No,
be-
I know, I understand. So I'm gonna do it. You're gonna do the circle in your mind and just look to see what target is there.
If nothing else, it freezes you for a moment.
I don't like this right? Because
Yeah.
now I have to fight through your.
Right, because you come forward with that, so I got that as an option.
Yeah.
And I'm a little cross, but not horribly.
No, I like that option.
Yeah, because even from here you have another shot.
In fact, I was going to put that as a theory practice thing, because what you're doing, you're kind of doing the same thing I said, where you're thrusting and then thrusting the eye, right? Because you're just flat out butt spike my shield right now. No, butt spike the shield.
I tried, I missed.
Yeah. Boom. And now see how it's pinned here?
Yeah.
Now throw the head. Right.
I should have stepped.
Yeah. But I don't hate that. Yeah, that's fair. The one thing that saves you there is how much are you physically dominating his balance.
Yeah.
If you're thrusting me enough that I'm going to have trouble with the counter, or I'm confused about the direction you're moving, you being open is less of a liability than if I could just tank through it and fucking throw a shot. If you fuck up and you don't take my balance, and I just come and go, boom. Yeah, even that, you stepped out nice.
Yeah, that was better than I was thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, you pulled yourself out of the headshot, but you
I
weren't
did.
there for the wrap.
Right.
And
There's a
most
better
people
way to
are
do
not
it.
most people are not gonna follow your movement. Most people are gonna be like, hey.
Tighter circle when I ran off. Which is what I tell people not to do all the time. You want to spin in their orbit sort of thing when you're trying to kill them.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get away, it's fine to just zip off. Like a lot of times when I'm fighting like this, if someone charges at me and I miss, I just boom and step through them
Yeah.
to get back to range.
Yeah.
But if I want to fight someone in close, like if Lars charges me, and I want to fight close, I want to keep here and turn, so I'm getting a different angle each time. Like this, there is nothing here, right? But this, you know, it's there. You got to be careful not to do this.
Yeah.
You want to do this, where you're leaning into a circle. Your shoulders should be coming forward. Yeah. If your shoulder is coming forward into the enemy, your weight is coming over. If you're leaning away, your weight's going wherever your shoulder is. So if you have a pivot point here,
Show him.
then
Go
go.
hit him with it.
Oh. So we're here, right?
Throw the bad way and then throw the good way. Feel that? And he's throwing those just as hard.
It's mostly trying to get that pivot and spin. On Shieldman, it's huge, but you have to line that foot up so it's out here.
Yeah.
It can't be. I can't be here and do it. So here, this is too far out.
Yeah.
This won't work. But if I'm here and I'm blocking, now I can spin and still get to it.
Right. Yeah, that's when it's not working.
Yes.
Now, right hand back, you could kind of do that the opposite way, I guess, if you wanted to. You could be here.
No, it's the same thing. Here.
I mean, you could for that.
No,
It's just
okay.
you cross your arms.
So we're here, and you see how your left leg's forward, right? So that's the one I want to attack because I want to get to your back, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to plant, like you said, on the outside left foot, and then I'm going to do boom. See how, but you see how like my presence exerts itself on you? Now watch, do it again. So I'm here, and I go. That doesn't. I mean, I'm changing position, but you're not under threat, right? Does that make sense? Do you feel it?
Yeah, yeah.
So when I'm here though, and I do this, boom, right? You feel how like I control this, right? My own body motion, without grappling you, is forcing your the way you move, and that's what you want. So now that I'm here, I can switch it to the other side. Boom, that's the sort of thing that is next level for you, is understanding how within the subset of rules of the SCA, you can control someone's balance, right? So we're here, right? See how like these pushes on your elbows, on your shoulder space are doing things? Now go back. Next is true down in your hips. I want you to control the knee, and see how your legs are right now? They're set to take force that way. I want to push towards this way. You're not set to take force there. Right? So I'm here, boom, 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 and I'm controlling that, right? I'm barely putting anything into it. All I'm doing is spinning and keeping my arms stiff. I'm not pushing you though, right? It's because I'm controlling the way your body moves, right? Like bodies move in a very limited number of ways. Just like arm bars work, right? Because arms don't bend backwards. It's the same thing, but with your hips and knees. So we pin, fighters at our level, pin your hips or your knees in place to maneuver on you. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna pick that up and you're gonna practice that. So ignore the shots for right now. Just worry about the control of my body. And I kind of did this like, here's another good example, right? So let's time your pull on for a minute. Right, so punch me. Right, like you got, like you can do that, right? Yeah, that's like, I would not want to be hit like that, right?
Yeah.
Punch me. Punch me. Right? That's what you're doing, only less obvious. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good punch me.
To give you an example on this kind of thing, raise your shoulder. Okay. So we're here like this, right? Versus.
Yeah. That second shot is the kind I hate because it's the kind that actually hurts my fingers when I fight.
But you see the difference in power? And the one, this is just feels awkward. It doesn't feel powerful because you're kind of falling away. But the other one just feels like I'm punching right through.
He threw that first one twice as hard as he threw the second one.
It was definitely harder.
Like you were careful with that second one. Yeah. So don't worry too much about the pole arm. Worry about the body manipulation and the way you're stepping. All right.
So you want me to manipulate you now?
I want you to step to an angle where you feel like you have an advantage.
Okay.
Or you want to stop me from having an advantage. Like, so you want me to not be able to, that's what like the whole footwork, right? Maximizing your percentage while minimizing theirs. So some dude steps in front of you and he's here, boom. So you have the, you want to talk?
No, good.
All right. So you have the gist of like how you're moving, but what you're doing is you're jumping to an angle and then pressing top heavy the whole time.
Okay.
Right? Which is easy to counter because you're top heavy. You're leaning on me.
Okay.
Which means your balance is my balance. You're giving it to me. Right? So my counter to that is just to step under you. So get in guard. So I'm gonna do what you're doing, and you're gonna be me here. So I'm Torian, you're gonna be Uki, and then I'm gonna show you some of the differences. Ready? So you're here, and you're pressing like this, and you're not. Yeah, see how like you just struck me there? And what your instinct was drop your ass. That's right. So get in guard. Now instead of just jumping to this angle, I change it. Right? So it doesn't have to be fast. See how we're pressed here? I get my elbow under you. Here. Boom. You see how that puts you in an uncomfortable position? And I'm not constantly moving. I'm just in a good spot now. So now you come up with something to deal with this. Okay? You come back there and push down there. I come back this way. And I come back under here. Boom. Right? Okay, well, as soon as I pulled up you got that? But you see how like I'm not just moving and pressing. Yeah. I'm pressing here. Right? That fails. I press here. Right? I pull here. That fails. I come back and I press here. Again, back to this way. Boom. Right? I'm trying not to hit your beak, but you know what I make sense?
So we have a pole arm, right?
Yeah, pull arm would be a little different.
All right.
Tom is like a master at this, by the way. That's bad. Boom. You saw how you opened the line, right?
And that's what I remember. I'm not going to push too hard because I don't want to get grinded. But but you'll notice it's not like I stayed in that same spot for the rest of it, right? I just let you move around. But I was kind of here, kind of pushed on you, just kept you there. But I'm not straight up.
Yeah.
A little bit of a squat.
the goal on this isn't constant action, it's constant control. You only act when you need to act. Right? So going back to our earlier example, we're here, and as you miss, I don't need anything else. I am winning this fight.
Yep.
Like I can hit you three different ways from here.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll stay here all day. Right? Until I feel like you get tired. Now that you've changed it,
Open now.
well, I might throw a shot here. Right? I might also do this. Boom. Right? To get more control. Again, what I'm looking for, and especially what you should be looking for, is what the fuck is that weapon doing? Right? So from here, when you kick that way, right? No. Like, so I press you here, you press down into the side. If I throw an offside shot from here, what happens to me? Right? You're there. Why do I want that? Right? I don't want that. That's a trade. You might even duck and it might miss. Well, I'm not going to duck my ribs. Right? I mean, you might half me, I might get lucky, but I'm not going to call it. I'm going to call it good. Someone else is going to say you have to be, right? I'm not going to rely on that. So, I'm here, you press down, I go, okay, what can the weapon do from here? Now I'm on top of it. What can it do from here? Yeah, come down, right? That was too short though. Yeah. Right? So that's not going to be hard, so now it's trapped. And now that it's trapped, I have good control. Right. Boom, boom. So again, where is this weapon going to move? And how can I stop it from moving? Go back and guard. We're here. You want this angle, you want this angle, right? And maybe you're going to get the butt spike up, but I got to worry about that later. Largely, you're going to want over here, and you're going to want to drop and hit me up there, right? Okay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to move to a spot. Go back. I'm going to move to a spot where neither of those is viable. Right? Now you can't throw either of those shots. What's open now? My forearm and the belly, right? So now I worry about that. So I come here and I press you here. Right. But I'm constantly thinking, what are the things you can throw from here? Move to a spot where they don't work. Move to a spot where they don't work. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, here. Sorry. We're here like this, right?
Yeah. How about that better?
Yeah, I'm stuck in here. Yeah, you can do that too. And I'm
down through the arm.
so I'm not doing it like you can do it. So, but it's mostly I'm pushing through him. I'm not worried about the shield at all. It can't kill me. I'm worried about his sword. So what I'm doing with that is move it back. So we don't want it far off camera. So basically, get here, boom, here,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If I can get to this, I've got 3 points of contact on his wrist.
Okay.
It's on my knee and on both hands. So all I have to do from here, because where my hands are positioned,
Yeah.
is this.
Yeah, so go back. And my only option is to do this. But even that, like, what the fuck that is? Like,
Hey, you're playing Twister.
like I don't want that at all.
Right.
It's like you're playing Twister and he's got the
But
solid
yeah,
Well,
base.
no, he's attacking, he's not just attacking
You
here.
see what I did with it? Not with my hands, but with my body.
Yeah, that's the important thing. That's good call that.
So we're here, right? He starts to push back, right, or pull back. That would cover the base. But I'm trying to push him off balance a bit, so I can lean through his shield, push through his shield. Because like you were saying before, this is weaker than this. Right? Come off to his side. So I'm already encompassing his leg over here, right when I had that trap. So when he starts to pull back, it's going to lean him back a bit. It's just this.
Yeah. Realistically, if you wanted to be like completely martial about this, you would put this leg deeper on me.
Like that.
I can't escape this.
Right.
'Cause-
This is
'cause he-
iffy for us though. Like
It's-
he's going to fall.
Yeah. Because he has control of this leg, right? So now I need to take care of two things. I need to get control back of this leg by doing this, and I need to do that. Doing those two things simultaneously is going to be difficult. The other thing I could do is turn wholeheartedly this way, but that leaves the back of my head like, look, I have like almost no ass here.
Yep.
Like he's barely touching me, and I'm putting a considerable amount of strength in this. I don't have to turn it back. Yeah, all of that is horrible. It's really bad.
And you're not doing anything outside the rules. You're standing in your spot basically.
Yeah, it's all incidental contact. It's not grappling.
Right.
And
You're
it's not really
grabbing
judo.
anything. You're not manipulating any of his limbs. You're just standing in a spot and he's trying to maneuver and you're denying. You don't have to let people do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So, now things to be careful of in a sense. Like if I'm here like this, and you get over here like this, right, where his arm's trapped, and your leg is behind him like this one is, do not throw him here. You're gonna rip his elbow up, or maybe his shoulder. If he goes down here, and I've got both arms on his shield, his arm's gonna extend, it's stuck in that shield, that's bad news. So try not to get both parts of the shield this way. If you get like this, push this way a bit to resist, and then slide off, so when you push it past, you can hit it. So.
Yeah, and again, because he has my leg trap there, I have him covered right here, right? Like, I'm not in horrible shape offense-wise. He's not going to hit me here. But I can't turn this direction because he has control of that knee. So when he fades off that way, do it slow, I can't respond to that. My response has to be to move forward because I can't move backwards. I mean, I could also duck, but that'd be weird. So now I'm blocking this and pivoting here while moving this way. Like, it's a nightmare. It's horrible to deal with that.
It's a lot of options for you and not any good ones for him.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, again, left hand back is default. But I think you could still do things right hand back there. It's just going to be a little more awkward. But it's still there are options.
Yeah. You might want to consider, and not for this round, but moving forward in the future, you might want to consider playing with the other hand. Are you lefty?
No.
Yeah, you might want to consider playing with the other hand. Just to try it out, give you options, and then maybe someday you like it more and you switch.
Having
I mean,
both
what else are you
options
going to do with your practice? You're going to dominate the shit out of everyone ever anyway, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, you're good enough that when you fight most people, it won't matter.
Yeah.
But when you fight against him, the default, because it's a right hand versus right hand situation, the same works to his advantage with the shield. It doesn't matter if you and I fight this way, because it doesn't matter much between these two weapons. Like, there's different openings, but there's not a huge difference. It is a huge difference against that. So it's just harder. Because this, I can do all types of stuff manipulating. I can keep my elbow on your shield and keep it off. I can feel what's going on there. Oh, that's totally
I hate that so much.
That would suck so much. I would be so mad.
Oh, he's got those now. Yeah.
I would be so mad. Like, if I lost a crown to someone jacking me in the nuts with a butt spike, I'd be so pissed off.
I didn't jack you, I just tickled it.
It doesn't matter, you hit me.
I don't think I could actually hit you hard enough there.
It's a touch. All it has to be is a touch.
Single sword plus.
That wasn't hard, right?
No.
All right, good.
But I knew what you did because I could hear you laughing before you did it. Yeah. So there's a number of
What's
things
that?
you can do there. It's
I jacked him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that. What do you think
With
about
the
the single
stupid-
swords having?
What's that?
I asked Tom what he thought about the single
I
swords
feel like
having.
Sword and Shield already had plenty of advantages. It really need one more. Really. Like thrust and tip, a blade. You've got a Madu with a blade.
It's a little freaking stupid, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. You basically built a Madu that has a blade, but you still get to use a shield. I mean, your style already had a ton of advantages. You didn't really need more.
Rules, Tom. I don't make the rules.
Yeah, you could be. You could. You were KM once. That gap. There you go. Exploit it, and then stay on him now.
No. Okay. Go back. You started to rotate, and then you went straight. Full rotate. Oh, foot high.
Like, to me, it's going to this, and then I have to.
Yeah. This foot goes more back. Right? So, go ahead. Here. I've got it down in that rotate position. Yep. Does that look better?
Sort of. So you're over the top of like this, right?
Yeah.
He's like this. Right? Is that right? Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Other hand.
Like a.
Yeah.
You don't have to have both hands all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know how to throw a punch?
No, never really threw punches.
He just hit me in the chest. He knows how to throw a punch.
So when you're one-handed, right?
Yeah.
You can do this. Do you know how to hit someone hard enough with this? I'm going to show you, then you do it back, okay? Just make sure you hit me in the
Just
face.
hit him in the head because it's not wearing
So,
on.
yeah. Right about there, right?
Okay. I'm sorry. You're hitting me?
Yeah, I want to show you how it is. That's fine. So we're here like this, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to hit you this way.
Yeah.
Because that gets the gauntlet in. I want to miss.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw it to your ear,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for. If I can hit here, if I want the blade to hit here as I'm missing,
Okay.
right? And that gets, and my weight is coming forward.
Okay.
And your hand is such that when you hit, you're not, I want you to see this, so move your ball. You're not here, because what's going to happen with your hand, if your hand is parallel like this, is this.
Yeah.
You want it here. Because now it's not good. So now, see how when I push, see what happens instead?
You're lining up these knuckles with your bones.
Firm on the front side of your hand, loose on the back side, almost like you're doing here. Because
This
yeah.
versus this.
Yeah.
You want those knuckles lined up with the bones, so when they hit down your arm. The force goes down the bones. This is going through your wrist and your fingers.
And I'll show you on Tom a little too, so you can see it from the outside. So straight does that.
Okay.
This does that.
Yeah, much harder.
Yeah, I barely touched you and I felt bad about it.
Go ahead. I got it. I need the clock.
Yeah.
Don't want to run it over.
So not like this,
No.
but
Yep.
But come with it.
Come with it.
Like you're here.
Yeah.
Like you can hop into it, you can fall into it, you can go forward with it.
arm movement under, or you?
It's your arm and your body.
You're building a building. You're a skeleton. You're a fortress. Right? So, again, if I hit you even like this with a good thing, and my arm is bent, now my arm is going to bend. See how like my arm is bending now? My arm is straight. Right? That's what's going on. Like nothing is pushing back. Nothing is making my fortress collapse. All the force goes through you because my arm is out, locked, strong. Don't lock the elbow, but like close.
Yeah, when your momentum's coming forward in our weight, like what we all weigh, nobody wants to get hit with that much force in that small a space.
Yeah.
It's plenty hard.
Yeah, try again. No.
You went around them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like you threw that second one lighter.
It was straight. No.
Yeah, I felt like you didn't even throw it as hard, but it hit like twice as hard.
You also win the circle coming around on the shot instead of.
Yeah. Now, to be clear, that first one that I said no to, I'd still probably call. It's still probably on like the low end of good. But in Crown, you never know. And if you can do the right technique and have it unquestionable, just do the right technique. Right? So, but this will hit like a ton of shit.
You know how to
It's
do
actually
one-handed
short sticking something.
shovel shot?
No.
Alright, so let's say your arm's here, right? I'm actually going to try this. So we're here, right? Except, I got
You hit it.
Basically here, and you need to twist it. Like that, but you need to pull your hip back, like you're doing a reverse punch. So it'd be like here. Reasonable, right?
Yeah, I'd call that.
Yeah, nose on your tail.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like for a split second, I was like, yeah, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's all over the top. You literally moved my head forward like a foot. So.
I didn't want to hit you on the head. I was trying to hit
You also didn't pop it. You just hit through the target.
That works okay on that. You can do it on forearms too. So like if you're here, right? When we get to here, I can do it, but you see how the back end here is way up? So I've got it cocked down. So it's just that, but with this hip twist, so you get the power, right? So you don't want to just slap them. You want to get that hip twist too, so you're getting the power through it. So it's all one band at the same time.
It's almost like a wrap.
Fine.
It's almost like a wrap. Your hips go in one direction and your shorts go in the other.
Yeah, it is a wrap. It's just with big fucking palms.
Yeah.
Get the weapon out. Yeah, there you go.
No. You caught it on my shoulder, and when you hit me,
Yeah, it's kind of up a little bit.
I want to twist with it.
Yeah,
right?
yep.
Yeah. You want to pull everything back into them.
Closer.
Yeah. It's definitely
And that's
skipped.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of the same idea when you punch
No,
someone.
it's not your fault.
Right?
We're trying to get you to hit him.
Punching people into the ground effectively, right? You kind
Yeah.
of get in here and just punching them down. If I punch you up like that, it's nothing. But if I hit you like that, it sucks, right? And that was nothing.
Yeah.
Right? These are just boop, boop. Now this one is forgettable. But this one you'll notice, just because it's pushing you back down to the ground. And if
What
your
I
legs
did
are
is
not
heel.
shocked over.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Come here. We'll do 3 more. Working close.
Control them.
Nice.
Yeah, you need to make sure you're controlling him in that, right?
Okay.
You were fighting through a space, but you didn't have a lot of control in his arm. And although he can't really hit you there, he can use it to maneuver you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if I'm you and I'm here, right, and I'm just kind of fighting in this gap to try to get a spot, if he does like that, now I'm stuck. And he's going to have all the time in the world to figure out how to get out of it.
I'm gonna do the reverse of what we just told you. I'm gonna yeah.
Well, if you do that, that's not so bad. But then I can get here.
Or at least.
Yeah. This is much better than it was.
So go back.
That's where we were to begin.
Yeah.
So we're here, fighting for the space, right? Being cognizant of his butt spike, all he can do. He's trying to move around and trying to do stuff. But yeah, here isn't too horrible either. But for different reasons.
Right. Yeah,
So-
that's different.
Do you see this?
Yeah, I got him an arm lock, right?
Kinda.
Essentially, oh, no, you told it.
Yeah, it's
This is-
multiple
this
points
is a
of
throw.
contact, but it's also I'm not gripping anything again.
Okay.
I'm just staying here so he can't move through.
Okay.
You know, he can pull out of it. He's
I can't
fully
pull out
free.
of it. If I pull out of it, he's gonna hit me.
Well, right, but you can.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the point. You're not stopped from being able to do it. It's just a bad choice. But you want people to have bad choices on their side. You don't want to be the one making the bad choice, right?
This is actually interesting. So from given everything we're talking to you about, assuming this isn't SCA for a second, what is the race here? What is the race become? Like, where is he winning this, and where am I okay and in good shape?
Well, you can pull straight on, and then he can just twist his arms, right?
Right. So
To twist your arm.
So he could twist my arm, and even more deadly, he could step through with this step for an Asotogari and pull me this way, and I'll trip. What I need to do is I need to do the same thing when we were teaching you. I need to control that back leg, and I need to turn the angle. I can't pull straight out of this.
Okay.
I need to push this way, put this here, and pull out in a different direction. Which isn't offensive, it's defensive, which means he's winning. Right, because he has a maneuver that'll end the fight, and I have one that'll pull us back to neutral. So,
Make sense?
Do you do that a lot?
Yeah.
All the
Not
time.
as much with him. It's hard.
I also know judo.
Yeah.
But you should watch him fight Conrad. There's so many times where he
There's
fights
a couple
Conrad,
things
and I'm
going
like,
there. We both know judo.
Yeah, yeah.
Or jiu-jitsu. He's a lot better. So anything I'm going to do, he knows. So I have to execute it when he's not expecting it, right, to do it perfectly. And I have to be ready for his counter and know what it is. He knows more on fighting in general. So all of this stuff is just harder against Lars anyway, because he knows, well, everything I'm trying to do is in his brain somewhere. Doesn't mean he's going to access it in time, but he knows all of it.
a couple of the twist locks and stuff you have, I don't are a little surprising just because I don't fight full arm enough. But they're I know what you're the instant you do it, I know what you're doing, and I'm like, oh fuck.
But I can't
I'm
give it
just
to you because I don't last time.
yeah.
Like if I kill you, it's going to be faster. And if it's something where for
But
somehow
watching
you
him
miss,
fight Conrad, he'll lock Conrad up all the time.
yeah,
So what's your strategy against Lars then?
kill him. Honestly, the problem you run into when you're fighting Lars, like right hand back, I honestly know what you would do because it gives him the block right off the bat, and that's horrible. Because even with this, like if I'm at range and he's doing his normal thing, right? So I get one shot here somewhere, you know, that may or may not be great, but then if like say this one misses, right?
Yeah.
Now what do? Well, now I got to do something. Like a lot of people would run, you're just gonna die tired. So I got to look at where can I get something out of this, right? And for me, it's this. I need to get here and do something pushing through his shield and hope that I can get somewhere before he finds that hole, which is right there.
And you saw how I did the same thing I said I'd do to you, I just did to him. I took the control on the sword,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I transferred it to the shield, and now my shield is free. Now
Right.
my sword is free to strike. Right? So with right hand back, what happens is I get there, boom, he lifts up, he throws it this hard. No, this, onside, boom. And it pins it there. Now, if I throw from here, he pulls back and throws again. No, same shot. He just throws the same shot over and over again.
All right.
Yeah. So,
I'm trying to think of where I think there's an opening. All right, so I throw this one.
right, and I go to, right. And that's what he does. So what I have to do is I take it on the hilt, boom, transfer it to the shield. Right, and now I can strike.
Yeah.
But that's like,
For both sides.
yeah. He
Not a
has
lot of
more
targets.
options, for sure.
There's just not a lot of target. You could try to fixate them high, maybe. So, yeah, I can't move fast enough. You maybe can.
You crossed your feet.
I did.
Hey, you or me?
That's me. It's just some foam off the gritters. My gloves are getting old. They need to be replaced again.
You did touch the hip a little through the shield.
Yeah, but if I had a deeper step, maybe it would have been better. I didn't step well enough.
Do you have to send them back?
Hmm?
Do you have to send them back to him?
I did.
How much that cost?
600.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, re-gloving them is a pain in the ass.
it is.
Yeah.
He also disassembled and recleaned everything too.
Okay.
It wasn't just gloves, but yeah, gloves are a pain in the ass. I've changed gloves before on other pairs. It's annoying as fuck.
Okay.
So, yeah, so probably maybe if you charge, it'd be a little better. Like if you're in the midst of a charge off the block.
Jux caught me with it.
But you don't
When,
do that.
when this leg steps forward, if I'm not careful about extending this shield this way, no, the other way. So if someone charges at you and they're not careful about their shield being here, what'll happen is this, boom, and that is over. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean there's multiple targets because of the way you're doing it, but this is the one that I wouldn't want to go down here generally because you miss these and they run you over. If you can get a clean hip or body, that's good.
Yeah.
Legs in desperation, sure, but I don't make that my primary plan pretty much ever. Because the legs tend to be kills, and not against them. You know, you die more than you kill people. Like, if I throw this and I hit his leg and he takes it, how many times am I going to die trying to get that?
The other side of that coin is it leads to an ugly fight. The guy's on his knees, and now you have a choice: do I peg him at range and look like a giant asshole in front of everyone, or do I come in and give him a fighting chance and possibly have more of a disadvantage than if we're standing up?
Right, but that's why I don't do that in practice, right? If I like someone to practice, I just struggle up and come and get them.
Yeah.
Because this is a good way for me to practice this. Because if you're in a list, right? Let's say the ropes are only 3 feet behind me, and I leg him, and he falls right in front of me. I can't back up. I'm going to have to fight him at least a shot or two right in front of him. And it's better if you know what you're doing. So, and it's not horrid. It's just, because you get all the same control aspects, but now he can't move.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't need to kneel, but just don't move. So if he's stuck here, right? And I can
be
get
lower,
here, I can go wherever I want. He can't really go anywhere. So it's just a matter of trying to figure out until I get to where I want him to be. And on a top angle, you can just throw down on him. So it's not super bad, unless you don't control the sword. If that hand's free, it can throw. And if he legs you, then you're kind of in trouble.
When you do that, is there a way to separate your shield from my...
I don't understand that.
Here. Roll over.
What are you trying to do now?
So you're here,
Standing or kneeling?
standing, and what you're doing is pushing through this way for up. But see how I like, how my motion pushes your shield in place? So go back. Is there a way to do something like step here, so I open it a little more, and instead of pushing across, do like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, whole lot more fucked. You know what I'm saying?
Looks like a lot of movement.
It is, and you have to get your elbow on the other side of the shield, which I might hit you for. But the end position is just so much more dominant for you.
So here, boom, like that, right? Even like this.
Hate that. Yeah, now push through. I mean, you can do that too. Now you don't want to do the up and down thing, is what you're saying.
Mostly because your hand's not moving fast. I'm making it a race. So, I did this, right?
Yeah.
If I did this, I can do a shovel, and your shield can't help.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. This I do occasionally. I just never get here with you because we never get this one.
Right.
The trick is though, like of all things when you're doing that shovel, don't do this. Do that.
Yeah.
Because you want to keep some sort of semblance of control on it.
Like
That's
that.
true even when
Not
you're
like-
doing this.
Like this.
Here,
like
push
this.
do the end. So here we're fighting, right? You push the weapon down, right? Now if you pull up straight from here, I can go right to your hip, right? Boom. So it's a double. So don't do that, right? Push it down, step into me. Nope, you did too fast. So if we're here like this, boom, to get you to here, right? I don't want to pull up because I'm letting you loose, right? That.
Yeah.
See?
You're doing it backwards. No. Go back up top. Go back up top. Both of you, go back up top. Swimming. Don't.
Other way. Pull down.
Pull the back of your.
No. Do you know how to swim?
No.
Back. So we're here like this, right? That's what I'm doing, right? So I'm pushing down and across, which screws you up some. Or my other option from here is that. Those are both swims, which is that.
So get up on
This
top.
way,
No.
right?
Kind of, but you grab my arm, not the weapon.
Get up on top of his. So
No.
no.
The weapon.
This way.
You can do it that way too. Either end can
Move
do
your,
it.
move your hand to the other side of his weapon. No, this way. Now push it down now.
Except he's kind of swimming himself here.
Yeah. It was kind of a
Go
bad.
back up.
You're harder to do it to than he is.
That's one way you could try to do it. Alright. So you get beyond. Yep.
There you go.
Pull it down. Now don't pull it that way though.
No,
'cause
no.
that
You see, yeah. That's what he's talking about.
Now shovel it. Sort of. Push
Drop your
this
hip.
way and then shift your whole body.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. See how this. So. Stop.
Yeah.
Go back there. So, if you don't move that hip, and you just move your arms the way he wants, see how much space that gives him? Drop weight onto this hip. You're taking his space, right? That's space he can't use now.
Right. And because you're pushing through and shoveling, I don't get the freedom.
Right.
Like my only real play here, like if you're here like this and I catch it quick enough, is to try to do this. You know, I'm trying to push back to it and try to get you back to here and that.
Right.
That's just doing 2 swims back to back. Right? I'm just spinning you. Now let's say someone gives you resistance, right? So I'm here like this, right? Resistance for, well, resist whatever you can. Ready? Are you in good shape? Why?
Because now you get the back of my head with your pulling.
Now what don't I want to do here?
Move backwards.
Well, there's that. But if I wanted to hit you right now, what shouldn't I do?
Give me space to move my palm towards your body.
Right. So what am I going to do?
Push forward into this.
Yeah, so I'm going to here.
Yeah.
Go back.
And then if I miss this, like say it slides off.
Yeah.
Go back to before that step.
Like here?
Yeah. You see how you have no protection in this space, right? Like there's nothing stopping his motion here. You're weak. It's like an energy void, right? Nature abhors a vacuum, so he's just going to move into that space because he's going to take an angle on this leg. So I'm explaining this so you understand it, not just the move, but the reason behind why he's moving to where he's moving. Does that make sense?
Because you're going to want to pull up, right?
Yeah.
If I push down, you're going to want to pull up. So you're going to help me by doing that,
Okay.
right? And I've probably been not recording this properly the whole time.
Oh, it got spun. Weird.
Yeah, it happens.
It got swung.
So just do it one more time for the sake of argument. So we're here like this, right?
Yeah.
Boom, get to there. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I push down. Right? And that's with almost no body movement. Like, just twisting a bit in space. Except for doing this and this, it wasn't a heck of a lot.
Yeah, in case you think this is muscly, he just admitted he only bench presses like 100 pounds to me today. So.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I did some on Friday, and it was ridiculously how bad I've lost strength. Just horrible. But body weight makes some of a difference.
But the
yeah.
body weight and the angles create a ton of power. A ton of power.
Yeah, it does. Like ridiculous amounts. And I'm not even in armor. Add another 40 pounds. Yeah, makes a difference. So, if we're here like this, how would you do the same thing? Right. Now what do you got to do here?
Swim,
Ah,
swim,
you let
swim.
go.
Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep
There you
pushing.
go.
No.
You got to be careful not to let go too much.
Your push turned straight. You stopped circling and you went straight.
You want to keep the control on it, right?
So how do I go slow? How do I do that?
So
If I
you got it here,
this.
right?
Yeah.
And now you could try to go straight, but I can also push it straight up, right? So that would be hard to get the shot quite right.
Okay.
So what I usually do here is I swim it. So you're going to push, but you're going to pull the bottom through the weapon. Like take your right hand and go right through my weapon.
No.
Like that. Now keep pushing. Now hit. You just got to make sure this is coming forward. Yeah, so the weight comes with it.
Swing you.
Yes! That's fine.
No, that's
you got a
fine.
helmet on. swims. That's all you're really doing. You just
That's fine.
Kind of motor.
so you can do it again. Yeah.
Go like this.
Yep.
And
Over and up. And up and under. So
okay. That weapon.
shields are a little different. If you want to try to swim it, the problem is they're quick. So
Yeah.
if you try to swim it back to his head, there's no guarantee. You haven't done anything to take the shield off. So the shield's still an active partner here. Whereas the sword's being manipulated, but it's not completely out of the fight either. So you really want to focus on, is your move going to take you around so you can angle in the shield, but then you risk the sword, or are you just going to fight through the sword and find an angle behind the shield? So, like for instance, you're fighting everything in front here, right?
Yeah.
Over here, I'm only going to reset a little bit, but it's like here. Right? He can get out of it, but I can feel the pressure up, and he's going to feel like that's going to come into his arm. And his shield can't help much because I'm leaning under.
Okay.
Right? So this is locked. And he's got strength coming down, but he can't hold it. He's got to reset before he can do it. It's something. So if he tries to remove himself from the situation. So that's trying to feel what the opening's going to be, right? Like there's just different ways to do that. The thing I saw was this. Because when you push it down, it opened his head. So that became a method of get, bang. I don't want to just go for it. He might see that. He might feel it. So I'm trying to slowly move without giving up anything. He's still focused on that. He may have lost track of where this is gone, maybe. And then I'm just trying to cock it for the shot.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So you're using a little bit of chest there. You're basically, instead of just going swim, bang, which he might just react to, I'm just kind of like fighting, and then bang. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe that opportunity doesn't present itself, but then you reset and you have another thrust to the face, you have another opening, you have another...
Yeah. Like say, here, so let's say we're doing that, right?
Yeah.
So we're working on it. That at least gets me back out here.
Right.
You know, I threw the shot even though I know he's going to block it because he has to block it.
Yeah.
He can't let me hit him in the head.
And if he wants to keep up with you, now he's charging at you, and that works in your advantage, right?
It does a bit, but he can't easily do that either. Because his momentum of coming off the sword was back.
Yeah, yeah.
So when he hit me...
So when he's from here,
Yeah.
and then this, that's hard to reset completely. Like he can get to a point, but there still was time there to reset.
And that's knowing it's happening and knowing what I need to do to counter it. Most people aren't going to. Most, especially if they turn, they're going to reset again.
A lot of them are just gonna back.
That is when you attack.
That's a whole different set of mentality. I don't like being that close to people.
Yeah, I know. You're a counterpuncher. But against shields, your weakness has always been when a shield gets to you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, we don't need to tell you how to fight somebody at range. I mean, you're not going to do anything. We're not doing anything better, right? Your stuff works just fine. And you're used to doing it this way.
Yeah.
Fine. This way, just go to your guard real quick first. I'm sure you've seen this before. We have the face, we have the arm, we have some stuff in the legs. I have around the shield this way, right, with this hand back. If he's in the same thing here, I've got a bad angle at the arm because it wants to skip. Face is the same. Legs are kind of similar, but they really, like if I go for this leg and I miss it, I'm so fucked. If I go for the front leg, like I go here, boom, this is still bad, but it's not as bad as missing this leg. Because if I miss the thrust on that leg, unless I'm pretty damn quick,
Hold on. Why is the other one better?
Why is the weapon better?
Why is shooting this like? Why is what he did seconds better?
You had a better angle on it. And it wasn't a thrust, right? It was a strike.
it was a cut, but you could thrust it too.
Okay.
And what did he say the number one deficit to shooting at the legs was?
Your weapon missing, and then he's out of position.
Right. So when I go behind him, so you can see this better. So it's not just the angle on the leg, it's the angle I have to take to pursue. If he opens his shoulder, see how his shoulder has to open to hit this leg?
Yeah.
He opens this line on me. right? And it does nothing to stop my speed. So he's there, thrust, and I just come, right? If he shoots at this leg and cuts off to that angle, I have to do this with my shield to block it, and now I have to cut back that angle. Right? So it's just a lot more, because I have to cross myself, I can't keep walking that way. Like this is, put your arm over here and walk straight. Like it's awkward as fuck, right? Yeah. So, and especially with him being over there, I certainly don't want to get hit right now because I'm going to go flying that way. So I have to reorientate where I'm going first. So it makes it not an instant death.
Yep. The other thing is this foot, although it's rooted, it's going to be there for a second. When that foot comes off the ground, it has to come back down somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't just keep it up there forever. So left hand back, if I'm here like this, and he picks that foot up, boom. Because I know that hip area is stuck there for a while. Right. It can't really go anywhere. If I go down here, I run the risk, well, your armor's not that, but normally this would just slide right off. That little wing is screwing you.
That's another reason for the crescent step.
You know what I mean? Go.
Okay. This leg comes in and out. Oh, got it.
They also call it step walk.
Or I could cut it earlier. Yeah, I took the angle so that now I'm already coming back at him. So it's just it's a better way to move. But no one's going to do that to you, so don't worry about it. I'm going to do it to you. Worry about it next time you fight me.
Yeah, that's true. That's the thing kills me most. Because it does two things. It gives you a real hard target. Because when you're just attacking someone coming straight at you, it's the distance of closing and left right.
Right, like as soon as I pick this up, if I move it straight, you know my foot is landing there.
Yep.
If I come in here, you don't know where it's landing.
Yep. But the biggest thing he does with that approach, like here, I'm pretty much able to move. I want to do what I want to do. That curve on his shield is screwing up the thrust, but that's a tempting target, right? That's a tempting target that's an easy block too. His arm is not really a target at all. It just is open, but it's not. The angle he's got his arm at is such that you're going to have one hell of a time of ever getting that to stick for you. Because you have to twitch a tiny bit and he's gone.
Yeah.
And you're giving him the blade where he can knock it down. You kind of have to do a compound set of things to get any of that stuff to work at range. Now what's going to happen otherwise is a normal person fights him, they're going to throw his face, he's going to take that step, right? What does that step do right here? What's that doing?
What's that doing to you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's screwing my foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So remember how we had like this is strong, this is weak, right?
For you, not for me.
So if we're here like this, and he's got that first step boom and this, it's not super obvious until he does what he does next. Now if you cross
That's essentially what I'm doing without throwing it.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So what do I have to do, right? So he gets to here, boom like this, I have to like re-square it, and it ends up being like this more often than not. And even though this is a good spot for me normally, it's not exactly like a bad spot for him. He's got more
I love
advantage.
it there.
Yeah, for you that's a ton of advantage.
Yeah.
For me, I'm behind the 8 ball. I went from having an advantage the first shot to now being behind on everything. Like I've got some defense, but it's not awesome. And the problem is I can't just run away, right? Like if I'm here and I try to throw that shot at him, and he's in that lunge like if I just try to go, he just chases me.
Yeah, that's no good.
So
And then you're backwards and off balance. You can't throw a shot hard enough.
So although he doesn't get a lot of wins,
Another-
this is better than just one.
Another question time here. So we break down, like Tom said he's normally comfortable there. And I agree with him. So we get to that spot. One here, he's just, why doesn't Tom like this with me?
Because your sword's free, right?
My sword's free. And what did I say, like the number one thing you have to do as a full armor is?
Control their weapon.
Control their weapon or cut down the number of attacks that it has on you. Right? What attacks does Tom, I'm gonna go back to where you were. What attacks does Tom have on me? He's got that.
Flat
He's got
snap thing, he's got...
And he's got that.
Yeah.
And he could potentially do a halfway in between where he cuts just past this corner and takes that.
Yeah.
No, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, it kind of.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
It's awkward. Go back. So he has 2, maybe 2.5. I have this. Right, I have like 7 different shots without doing anything fancy at all.
And he's prepping my weapon. That's the sad.
Right.
Like if he decides to take my weapon out of the equation, it's not a shot he throws at me.
Oh, and the other thing is, all of those things, right? Like, so we're standing here. This, I'll actually do it to you. We're standing here, right? And my weapon's free. So block. Okay. Block. Right? You can see it all coming, and you can block it all, right?
Yeah, if you're going slow.
Get back and forward. Go ahead, block. Block what I'm going to do to you.
I can't see it.
Right, exactly.
Which is why you'll notice I don't stand like that. It's riskier. It's like tank commanders that stay buttoned up in their tank aren't as effective as tank commanders that sit up the top even during the fight, because the guy out top can see.
Yeah.
So when he's here like this, I tend to look up the side. And yeah, that does give me some risk, but I can see it coming better. It gives me more information.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it good. I need to work on that. Because I was doing the same thing with light up.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting my eye on it.
It's just eye. I'm doing the same thing he's doing with his shield to it. Like he's a lot of times will look out one side or off the other kind of thing. But I'm just trying to peer around. Like I've got one hand on the edge of the shield with the weapon across the edge so that I can push the shield a bit or keep it from going in front of me. And then this is preset the block a bit, but I still got my cut. And with you of a butt spike, that'd be more. But then you're doing right hand back, which is awkward. Because again, you're cutting across the space in a different way.
It's amazing you're as good as you are.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Right hand back is such a hindrance. Skeeler too, he's also right hand back. He's not as good as you, but he's still good.
Well, what skill kill people with them? Cross.
Yeah,
Same thing.
yeah, true.
He's a good
He
counter punch
hits it
thruster.
with that machine gun.
He's gotten it better.
Yeah.
When he first got knighted, his main thing was he was an
Yeah,
excellent counter puncher with thrust. He's improved it since then.
Let's take class.
Because you have really improved. You know, I mean, it's noticeable. It's just that there's some efficiency that gets very high. And you don't put people away sometimes that you should. Like your fight with Godfrey here was more threatening to you than it should.
So it is very awkward to show against me.
I just thought I went to that dining before. So I had time to practice.
Yeah. I like your that backhand is slick.
Yeah, you fit that in a slot that wasn't very big. It's a nice shot.
Yeah, I also didn't expect it from that angle. That's nice. I like it. Yeah, I think you caught that.
I couldn't tell. Her shield was moving so fast.
I don't think. I think it got clear enough to touch, and it's touch kill. So yeah, it didn't hit me hard. But then I was thinking through it, and I'm like, no, he touched you with a thrust. That's good. Okay. Ready? Where'd I hit you? You hit me right here. Oh. Give me a second.
You catch one in the hand?
Yeah, I as I was throwing the shot, I caught the block, and it, but I didn't catch it on the hilt. I caught it further down, so it bent the wrist back.
Yeah, those are always itchy.
What'd you think of this thing? I know I didn't hit you, but
I didn't like it.
what's that?
I did not like it. I don't like the way you're crossed up,
Yeah.
and I. Now you are at a range where you could get away with it, but if I'm moving full speed instead of 3/4, it's not gonna.
Okay. Yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
Step with it too. You can't get the depth of angle because you're crossing your arms. If you're trying to make up for that instead of just doing this, you know, use your body like a cookie clock to get that to work a little better.
Okay.
Yeah. hard to go 50% and still hit hard.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good then.
No, it's not. It's not you. It's me.
You're gonna see on that too. You didn't move your hands particularly good there, Hans.
Yeah.
You were kind of in the wrong grip for that range.
Yeah.
Good. Your pawn down there, nothing. I mean, if you catch the balls, it'd be good, but that's the only thing you can really hit at that power. Give me a sec.
A lot of those shots too need to look deadly. When you do those like little quick movements like that, they can catch people. They might catch people off guard, but they don't exactly resonate as confident. And as such, they don't come off as threatening or as deadly as you might want. So for someone at this caliber, they might be a little worried about, like he was kind of worried about it, but it's not enough to stop him. It's not enough to make him think too much. If you give him a harder look that's like, this is deadly, this is confident, that's going to cause him more consternation in his planning than some quick movements.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, also, you stayed down there too long.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like you're screwed, is what it comes across as.
Yeah.
I felt screwed.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a default for you. Like you get into a position where I feel like you feel outmatched.
Yep.
And you don't move out of it. You just stand there and repeat what you're doing harder and harder, hoping that it works. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Move. When you're in bad shape, move. Always move.
Yep.
Ready.
Okay.
What did I do wrong there?
You pushed out.
Yeah.
So the thing you did that it wasn't dangerous, and you were here, and I saw your arms come out. When your arms come out, you can't block yourself. They're already like, go do this and try to block my shots. You're never gonna do it.
Worse, try to throw a shot.
Yeah.
You're no threat in either direction. You can't stop and you can't kill.
Good. That was good.
Solid effort.
What's that?
There's solid effort. There's some techniques you could fix on that to make it more smooth, but you had the right idea. You're not going to get the smoothness until you practice it a bunch. But
Yeah.
that was a good idea, and getting in that gap, exploiting that down, trying to come back for it, all that was nice.
He caught it off the wrap too, which is nice.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not throwing it full speed, but the fact that you saw the wrap coming, blocked it, pulled me down, and then got me in a good position, that's everything we can ask for, right?
Yeah, and you were trying your best to control that fight. You weren't
Yes.
you weren't being manipulated. You were trying to manipulate.
Yes. Yeah. Big difference.
Yep.
All right. Step up, 75. Ready?
Yeah.
That's better angle, by the way. High or good?
Looked pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, good then.
It didn't stick like it hit your head jack back, but it looked like it caught in those top two bars and then kept going.
It felt center face, but the way my head moved made me question whether it was high. But I saw the tip,
Yeah.
so.
So from my perspective, I couldn't see the front.
Yeah.
It looked like it hit in this height range, but just kept going.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to stick. It just has to hit.
No. It's as long as it's in my face.
Yeah.
It's just that, you know what it is we'll talk later.
Yeah. It's all good. That's just what I saw it as.
No, I
So.
think you're dead on. You're dead on.
Yeah, that's good.
tease you.
Try and reach for that weapon. Really a lot too slow for that.
I make that a little hard.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
It's a good clear. You're staying a bit and too in front of him.
What's that?
You're a little too in front. Slide left or right more, like further.
That shot I hit him. Did I slide right though?
You slid in the right direction. It just, yeah, you needed more of it. It creates a better angle. So instead of trying to be right in front of him, where you can do that to get him to pause for a moment, but you can't fight your whole fight there. Like you win a little bit off and a little bit off. They have to be more, or maybe 2 times, but not just a little bit, a little bit. You're kind of doing this more than this.
Okay.
So, but it's not bad. It's just
That shot felt like a Hail Mary. Like, I hope he moves his shield out of the way.
well, you did a couple things that were good at clear. The long range one went underneath his shield, which caused a moment of hesitation. He didn't immediately try to jump you in that second, which is good. You kept decent firing range for you, but not great range for him.
That's what won you the fight.
Yeah.
Is you moved far enough away that my sword wasn't a big threat, but you could still hit me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is a fine balance. You hit me on flesh shoulder, and it doesn't hurt, which means you probably hit me with the very tip of your pole arm, because it was probably the cushy part.
Yeah.
But hard enough. Crown. Who the fuck knows, right? Depends on who you're fighting.
Yeah.
I'd call that 100 times out of 100, but not everyone's me. So.
Yep. So there's some good bits there. It was a good fight.
No, it was nice. I liked it all the way around. I liked the way you jacked the range back and forth was the big thing there, because you looked like you wanted to commit, and then you backed up, and I was the wrong angle for what I wanted to do at that point, which was solid. That was good. Right? Did his body half, or did it hit the pole arm?
He's got a much longer blade. I think he got you on the blade.
Okay.
The thing that was weird about it is it kind of like, it looked like it bounced off your shield into your head.
No. Did it hit my head? I felt the body.
Oh,
It's way too low for your head.
Yeah.
I saw your head rock.
Oh, that was my.
That was your sword.
He caught something over here.
And he punched it back. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That thrust was too hard on your face. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, the body I didn't catch. I thought he got off the shield on that.
I did catch shield with it, but he blew through it a little.
Okay. Yeah, from the outside.
That one I would probably only call half the time,
Yeah.
depending on my motion and stuff. And you're going to get a lot more people call it off in Crown, especially if they thrust your face like that, because they're going to be like, I won, and if I call that, then it's a tie, and no one's really going to count me against it, right? You're going to get a lot less favorable calls on that.
Yeah, that's another instance too. We're stepping a little deeper to the left, or sliding to the left would have gotten the angle out of the shield.
Yeah.
So.
And I might have missed my thrust.
Yeah. Interesting fight though.
Yeah. Right?
Yep. Good.
I think
I
so.
don't know about you on you though. It was all stick really. Full arm.
It's really hard to call because I feel my head rattle, but I didn't feel penetration, and I felt my shield get hit.
Yeah.
But it did hit my face, like you did hit me. So that's a tough one. I mean, but I don't like you're gearing for Crown. I don't like tough ones.
Yeah, it was awkward looking. It wasn't as clear as, well, at full speed. It didn't look as clear as it could have.
Yeah.
But also the secondary one where he slapped back hit your tail.
Yeah.
So that one I wouldn't be surprised. It didn't look overly hard, and it was a tail.
Yeah,
Tails
yeah.
are hard.
The other thing is with this helmet, if you hit me here, very easy to call. If you hit the tail or you hit me here, even though I get a lot of motion, because of the way the helmet moves into my neck, I don't feel a lot of impact, right? Which is, I mean, the armor doing what it's supposed to do, but it's hard to call that.
Yep.
And that's might have been what happened, because I feel it a little on my lat, which means you probably hit this angle and turn the helmet, which is an odd.
It's hard to get in close.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
It's like he's tough or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, so we'll walk through what I did conceptually when we're done. And you'll really see it the next kick up. Ready? 2 more.
Hold on. Stay down there. All right. Reset, but on top of him. I'll call it a lay on, but when you took the leg, he was about that far away.
Oh, okay.
So in a crown, you would end up here.
Oh,
So
I would end up reset, is what you're saying?
you would be here, because
So
when you hit his leg, you were about that far apart. Right?
you're saying relative distance.
Right.
You're up for now, like it's crown.
Yeah.
All right.
Part of the point of that plus, you're able to see how this works. Like,
Without me entering. Yeah, so Tom's right. You're going to start in more of a fuck position.
yeah. So I'll call it down, but then you guys will play with that. On the guard, lay on.
I couldn't tell on that very first thing. Am I stick him or you?
No, I think so.
Oh, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah. That's why I said you were fucked, because the way you were, that it's just so quick and easy. You know what I mean? It's just, and I'm not giving any position up to do it.
So there is one trick thing that might be useful to you. Sorry, but we'll
No,
probably
this is
forget
actually a
later.
good place to stop, because he might end up in this position that's a shitty position.
And then you can fight.
Move your knee pads up to your knees.
It takes too much.
Jesus, dude.
I'm not gonna fight.
Move to the grass?
Huh?
You want to move to the grass?
No, we're good.
All right.
That'll be fine. All right. So when you're here like this, right? Sometimes it's better to be down like this and lean back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because a taller person, like, see how he's looking over the top of that? Yeah. When you get to here and they reach over, it's just this,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
And-
I can fix that for you, by the way. So go back to where you are, and this will help. Stand behind him so you see this too. Throw what you just threw. So see how I'm there?
Yeah.
Now throw that shot, but instead of pushing your hand here, push it over here. No. High. Yeah.
Oh, I just missed, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I get people with all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's the wrong circle. It's wrong.
Yeah. Just so I'm gonna do this with my sword. So well, you can stand up. It's fine. It's the same thing. So what he's doing there is this. What I'm doing is instead of see how my hilt is here, and I'm coming through this space, like a shield is there, right?
It's here.
Right. So I'm trying to do this, but the shield is right there, right? So instead of doing that, I throw my hilt over here. Boom. So I come this way, throw back down.
I like what you taught us when you came down to Sioux Falls.
What's that?
Like what you taught us when you came down to Sioux Falls.
Good. Good memory. That was a while ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good on
Yeah,
you.
a few years.
You forget anything.
All right, so you guys going full speed?
One more. Yeah, no, that's a good break point because we stopped. So. Give me a sec.
Sure.
Straight like a normal person, and then switch to do like 3 to 5 that way, and then switch to Lars mode. So this is the difference there. Let's just go straight to Lars mode.
You good? All right. You guys want to lay on or no?
No, we're good.
Okay.
I'm dead.
I caught that one on the hilt. Otherwise, it would have been good.
Do you know why your roundabout missed at his head?
No.
So the angle you threw that at was up.
Yeah.
Instead of it being a down,
Yeah.
you did basically that.
Yeah. Yep.
You want to take and shift. That's where if you shift your weight again, you can change the angle quickly. I'm not going to throw it super hard. I'm just going to just coming here.
Yeah.
Turn.
Yep.
Turn like that?
See, sorry. Put your shield up. I don't want to. Yeah, so we do this. That's the normal, right? To do this, it's just. Nope, you don't even have to do that. You just gotta move on the balls of your feet. This one, right? Is the normal one you're doing. This one. This one's a little awkward to get down this way, right? Because of the way you end up. But if you just tilt your toes with it to change the angle, it'll bring it down more naturally. So you're just shifting on the balls with feet. Both feet are turning. Make sense? Right. So if you're here like this and it wants to do that kind of thing, it's just a change of aim. It also makes it, instead of it just being, it's an oval that's coming down, but it's an oval that's coming down in like a potato shape almost. It's not just a change in angle, it's a change in all of its dynamics on the end.
Four more. We'll work. We'll circle back to this. Keep it in your brain.
Yep.
Your brain.
Yeah.
Need new elbow pad.
Need new arms.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Quite a little body, but most of the shield.
Might want that.
What's that?
You might want that.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Huh?
What happened there? What happened there?
I brought my hilt. I didn't know which angle you were going to throw it, so I brought my hilt inside and started to throw at you, and you hit it from the outside, knocked it out of my hand.
So now you had a good arm.
Oh no! You caught all hilt. Yeah, I feel a little bit, but nothing. Almost all hilt. Believe me, if that were arm, I'd be a little upset. Not at you, at myself. You gave me your pole arm.
I was trying to work on that. This stuff he's been on.
Yep. But you didn't hit me with it. You pushed it into me.
Yeah.
So I could just wrap it up and then punch you.
It's that like transition movement. Then once you're there, you got to transition to a hit, just not sit there.
Kind of, but the way you tried to use it was in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, you want to use that as he's coming to you and you take advantage of what he's offering. When you go forward, you don't want to immediately go into that stance, because that's what happens. He just takes your pole arm away.
Yeah.
So, because when you offer that out, you want to make sure, like, if he's coming in, you take all that stuff. But if you're going in after him, you need to do something threatening to get him to react, and then you try to take advantage of it.
Okay.
Don't just simply go for it. It's like, it's just not, you're trying to one-shot him, in effect, and it's going to be hard to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I back off.
Better work for it though.
What's that?
Better work for it though.
Yeah. That was good.
I don't like those either.
Why?
It doesn't feel very skillful.
You're kidding.
No, that was good.
Yeah, like,
To me, it doesn't feel like a skillful shot.
That
It
was
doesn't
thrust?
look pretty. It's ugly.
I largely have it covered. My only mistake was I stood up too straight.
we should do a Discord on this and review it later, but I can show you in detail when we have this on the screen why that was skillful.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
discounting
good
your
shot.
ability.
Yeah.
That's harder than you think it is, Hans.
Definitely don't discount it. That was a good shot.
Oh, what was that? Ah, yep.
That was a little hard.
How'd you catch that? That circle. It just stopped on your shield there.
So with Tom, as soon as his circle clears, so clear your circle. No, so you're there.
Yeah.
I see it drop.
See, drop.
Right now, I time it. It goes across. I jump here, wide open, and very covered. So just the gap I'm moving into. There's only so many places that shot can end up, right? Like, you're gonna have a hard time coming back to my leg. You're gonna have it's gonna end in that shot where it ends. So I just go straight to where it's gonna end and move to where you're weak.
You're also giving him some range on the way you're throwing it.
Yeah.
Because of your hand grips, you're giving up probably a good foot. So he doesn't have to jump very far to get a pretty deep shot on you.
Yeah, of all our fights, that was your worst. because that was like easy kill.
And when you jump forward, you also cut the tip line.
That's part of what I'm trying to
Yeah,
time
yeah.
when I do it. Absolutely right. Yeah. Yep. Realistically, I probably told you this before, but we're here, right? You have to shoot over this bump to hit my face, right? Which is hard.
Yeah.
That's why the one that hit me was good, because you curled your hand up the way you're supposed to and you came at this angle instead of this angle. And then what I want to do is I want to kick it now. Now see how it's under your pole?
Yeah.
Once it's under your pole, I just walk forward. Right? And once I walk forward, now you're kind of fucked. Because now you have to go to cut stance, but I have first shot. Like it goes from you having first shot to me having first shot. Although with you I have to be careful, because if I take that first shot without covering my head, you're going to take my head or shoulder off. Yeah, you're catching a lot. Are you okay?
Yeah, no. Mad at myself because I was just hit.
Right, which is what I said you're going to do, right? Just think about it.
Another thing you're kind of doing there too is every time you're active, you do this. So this is how it goes. You're getting a little too much. I know it's hard because you want to react to the thing you want to do, but you have to not sell the farm quite so much on this is going to be a cut. Because this is really only one thing.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go from that range, instead of doing this, if you're trying to sell it, do that.
Right.
Because this can still be dropped into a thrust, but it also can be a cut. If you do this, pretty obviously going to be a cut. Pretty obviously a thrust. So anything in this middle gray range still kind of looks cutty, but they can't discount the thrust.
Also, when we're here and you cut up, if I stand here, throw a wrap at you, I'm open. Right? You see that, right? Like this comes back a little, even if I'm sticking it out, like sticking out and throwing wraps like this, because I'm supposed to. You can hit that, right? But I reset that, and I go, and now I don't throw from here, where I'd be open, because the instant this happens, I'm open, right? Like right here. And now I've closed that all up. I still have all my angles, but even when I'm here, this is strong. Here, I'm weak. You're gonna blow through that. Here, I'm strong. Right? So that's what that's how I can sit there and take 3 or 4 shots that are hitting me and rattling and touching my arm, but nothing really good.
Yeah.
Even though most people you blow through them because I'm strong. It's the same as this, right? This is strong. You're not gonna move it, right? Unless you hit it at a different angle. Like if you came across and hit it this angle, it would close me this way. Then I'd be back to being in trouble. Or if you got underneath and pulled me this way, because look, it's a lever, right? So, right, then it'd be weak again. But I'm strong to the force I know you're gonna throw at me. So now I'm free to do what I want. Your back to the face thrust. Pretend you have a shield. This is your face thrust.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Which is why I thought it was high, because even when it hit in a good spot,
Yeah.
the force made my head go up, right?
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was high. Just like what everything else Tom is saying, you want the force to be neutral to down. So when you're here, yes, this, but at the end, kick this up. Boom.
The one you got over your shield you thought was cheapy was probably your better thrust on that because you did that.
Yeah. Yep, that was made it good. And I gave you the opportunity. I fucked that up because I stopped in range and you were in a good spot to turn and fire on me, and I should have known that. That's not a crown level fight for me. I fucked up. If I do that in crown, I lose that crown, right?
But on your side, good response on what you saw and you took advantage of.
No, that's awesome. That's exactly what you should do. Like what you did was great. Like, right? But it made me like, am I actually giving him the crown fight like I said I was, or did I back off too much so that he could learn and see stuff? And it's really hard to separate that in my mind.
Yeah.
But to Tom's point, that thrust was lightning. Like it was really good thrust. It was perfectly timed, and it's exactly what you want. You want to look for my mental reset, especially on a fighter who sometimes comes, sometimes goes. Most fighters aren't going to mentally reset at this range, so the fact that you picked up on it at that range is good. Most fighters are going to mentally reset at this range, especially if you hit them, right? Then they're going to go, oh no, I need to get back, and when they go, oh no, I need to get back, boom, should already be coming. And that's what you did to me. You just did it at range. Right?
Yeah, there's a lot more going on there than I think you're maybe even entirely like conceptualizing.
Yeah,
not all front brain stuff. It's some of it's lizard brain from training. But to be able to see the target, realize you can hit that target, throw it all in that instant.
Yeah.
That's more skillful than just you're not walking around booping them on the nose because he's a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, he's a high-end fighter. To be able to do that shot when he knows that's an opening is not.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's why I'm trying to backtrack my words, because I don't want to be like, you only hit me because I fucked up. Partially because I fucked up, but 9.5 out of fucking 10 times I'm gonna block it anyway, even with that fuck up, right? Even against fighters of his caliber, right? Like I should still make that block, and you hit it, which is awesome. That's exactly what you want, and that'll win you a crown against the top
I
down.
think when you see the video too, you're gonna see a lot of the rest of your body is going.
Yeah. That's what really sold me on it. That's a great point, and that's gonna lead into my next talking point. Because you were calm, and that's so I didn't. Probably why you called me flat-footed, because I didn't see the attack coming the same way, because you didn't tense up like you had been. That's an excellent call out, Tom.
Yeah,
So again, straight angle goes up. You want to turn that straight angle into a different form. It's hard on your face.
So here's the funny thing with that. Do the same thing again, Phil. But instead of moving it down, just twist your wrist.
Twist which
The backhand.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And then it comes down like this.
Yep.
I'm still coming up with it though. Not this.
But your arm can move if you twist your wrist. Otherwise, you're lifting your whole arm up. With
This
a
way.
twist, you're just moving your forearm.
Yeah. It's a much better
It's
shot.
this
Yeah.
versus
Yep.
this.
Plus, you're getting a better outside angle on the shield. Better on the shield. And I know I'm doing this righty to your lefty. The first one, when I was going 50%, and you started taking it to me, and this is gonna sound counterintuitive. You were sharp, and your angles were nice, but you were too tense. So you had this nice, like, you were here, you faked this, then it cut here, and then bam. But it wasn't. It was like you were here, and then you went right, instead of like, boom, right, like that. Yeah. More dangerous. And that's what made that thrust kill, right? Because you went from like to just, right? It was just this smooth, nice bam. Right
Well,
on
there
target.
was probably like 4 steps to that good thrust.
Yeah. I'm dumbing all that down.
But I'm trying to dovetail into your point. 'Cause
Oh,
you're
okay,
not wrong.
okay.
But the reasoning is when you were nervous, when you were tense,
Yeah.
you went, I'm doing step A, I'm doing step B, I'm doing step C. You're
Yeah,
following
yeah.
like key instructions on how to kill things.
Yeah.
Instead of just going, I just do this. Instead of doing the flow from one thing to the other, you did this. All of it was a little jerky. And you still made it work because you're still doing them all very well, and he was fighting at 50%. But at a high end, when everybody's going smoothly, everything's going well for people, that jerkiness ends up being like transition moments that people can see and react to. So if you catch someone that's having a good day and they're flowing through their shots well and you're not, they'll catch you in those gaps. In between each step. They might not get in the first to 2, but if there's 4 or 5 steps, it might be step 4 or 5, but they catch you in that. And so the brain will see it on step 2 and go, oh, he's being jerky. And he doesn't think about it, they're just trained enough to react. So like, okay, and if they know enough to know, okay, he's going from here to here to here to here, they'll just wait until you hear it.
Right.
And so that's where you want to be fluid and moving away from it.
With tension too.
It's kind of like this, then this, then this. Instead of just
With tension too. This is like the difference I want to show you. So we're fighting, right? And I'm tense. I'm like, right? And I want to get to a hook down there. Right? I'm tense. Feel that? Right? You see how I'm like so stiff, and even though I'm tense, really muscling it in there. You feel how that feels, right? Now I'm gonna be loose. Right? Boom. Like 3 times as hard, right? Because everything's loose. Only the muscles that I want to fire are firing. Nothing's fighting me. When I'm here and I'm tense, everything that is telling my pec to contract and my bicep and all this stuff to kick is being fought by my back muscles that are telling me to get back in place because it's all tense. Right? But this is loose. Boom. Only what I want to move moves.
well,
Smooth.
and more to the point of to support that, your whole body is doing the shot. It's not just your arm.
Yeah.
You know,
But
it's
only
a
the things you
holistic-
want.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a holistic thing. Right? You're connected to the ground. Even if you aren't feeling some of those things, you're still legit. And if you're too robotic and too stiff, then you're just kind of taking away some of you're taking away some of your ability to do. And you can still make it work. It's like you could throw absolute garbage as the biggest robot on earth and you're still going to occasionally hit it. You just don't want to take that as, well, it works, so it must be good. You know, you want to improve your techniques to be more fluid.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see high-end boxers, high-end martial artists, any of those guys doing robotic stuff. They all flow like they're freaking Jackie Chan.
So it's all smooth as shit.
Yeah, because they have that fluid, and they're doing a bunch of steps. It's not just one thing; it's dozens of things.
No,
tied
ironically enough.
Really?
Yeah, because of the same thing. Like I don't. When I do this, it is so second nature, right? It's boom. It's like my body knows how to move, so it's very fluid. When I dance, I don't know how to move, so it's rigid and awkward and just shitty looking. Yeah, I actually had like I was messing around with Litha, like Litha and Fergus were over last weekend, and they were trying to get me to like dab and do all sorts of other shit. And when I first started, I was like, and she's like, that is awkward as fuck. What are you doing?
I'm old,
Right?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, and then she's like, smooth it down, like just go neutral, smooth, like relax. And then I had like an epiphany moment in judo because we had a judo throw where it was like, it was doing a bunch of stuff, but it was like, pull and reset him, then come up on the outside of his gi and come in for an inner reach.
Yep.
And then switch to the other side of his gi and come for this, and then if that fails, switch to an ippon. And when I first did it, it was like that. It was like, and then I was like, this all sucks, and I'm like, be smooth. And I got like more like, oh, I get it. Boom. And then I can start hitting the throws, right? Because it's like flowy. It's flowy. It's not like, I'm being strong. When you're strong, you pin yourself.
And all of those points are transitions. He's making choices on what to do next in each transition.
Yeah.
He's taking what the person gives him and then picking the appropriate answer.
Yeah. The problem is it's fast. It's all very fast, right? And you need repetition to work this shit
So
down.
like, I mean, I know it's small form, but if you're up in the form, right? If we're here like this is a transition,
Yeah.
right? So I have a lot of options here. For me, I'd probably do this
Yeah.
because this is easy and it's right here. But let's say you've got this, right? So I can't do that. So, but I've got to both get in a better position and stop you from attacking that. So what do you think I'm going to do?
Reach underneath the pen.
I could, but I've already got a good spot right here. Right?
Yeah.
So I can do that. Now you're awkward, right? What are you probably going to do? Push.
Push down.
Right. So you push down.
Now he's swinging. Boom.
Right?
Now, no, he could have swum you right away. It was there, but it's so much more there when you give it to him. When you have to push back because of the position you're in.
Right. So I'm picking a transition on my defense never had to leave me at any point. So if I goof it up, I'm still covered. And whereas if I'm in this one here, right? If I try to go for this one and try to get it like this, somehow I'm now in kind of an awkward spot. And now you can do things like you could do an underneath swim and switch it over, up other way. Bring the bottom up through this way. Yep. Just
Yeah, yeah.
going over my head. Now push it down.
There you go.
Yeah. You're right there. And up front. All right. These have to do it all in one thing, and they don't.
But this is kind of the same thing, but a corollary to it, right? When he does this, what does he do? Right? Are you going to stay like this, or what are you going to do?
Try and use.
Look how tense you are, right? Now you're tense, right? As soon as you're tense, I can be flowy again. Boom, boom. Same thing. Another one. Right? And everyone has this thing, right? If I did this, you would do what? Right. And I don't like that. That's like I'm pushing my muscles against yours. I'm a little far out. You're in close, right? But I am tensing you. But what happens if I instead of putting my muscle into it, I put my weight? Boom. Now I'm at a better angle, right? Now you're in tension, right? So you're in tension. Boom. Right? Because I'm not pushing you with my muscles. I'm not being tense. I'm being structural.
Yep. Well, and there's a.
And you understand that one way better because I know you do that.
So you're in that same spot again here, right? So these are blocking because they're perpendicular, right?
Yeah.
So if I do this like he's saying there, right? And I've got it so now you're pushing against my body weight. I just have to let it slip.
Yeah.
So I just go into parallel, and I'm still on line, and you're over.
Yeah. Yeah, he does it better than me, by the way.
So that's all you have to do with that, really. You just go from this to this and let him slip. Because really, if you go back up in that guard real quick, so we're here like this. Like I know I've gotten you on this a few times. Because usually if I press on you, you retreat. So I've been trying to find ways to get you where you do this, and it's just like this kind of thing. So I just have to come forward a little bit on this to get it. And I can hide my range, right? Like we usually start out here, right? Because we both know we can thrust. So we'll get out here. I'll kind of offer up then. You'll usually do it too. I'll get to here. right?
Yeah.
Now we're talking about it, it's pretty obvious, but our points never changed their distance. They've been here the whole time, right? But I've made up 2.5 feet.
Yeah. In
And
fact,
I'm
you're not
triggered to throw a shot.
gonna thrust him from there. You're gonna move to cut from there.
Well, I could, but knowing Lars, or
Knowing you.
knowing Hans,
Oh, knowing Hans, you might not.
he
Yeah,
likes
yeah.
to retreat. So
Yeah.
the first time that I'm going to do something, he's probably going to step off and retreat.
Gotcha.
But with all this extra range, like if we'll do it kind of slowly. I'm just going to slip off you and go to throw a shot, right? And if I miss that, I have this much more before I take another step. So go and look behind you real quick just so you can see where that is. You know, you're not going to retreat out of it. That's part of the reason to do these kind of things where you walk under them, you keep that tension, keep people's eyes, keep the tension of the eyes and work it in. And they'll get that you're getting closer sometimes, not always. And if they don't respond, you kill them. If they do respond, then you back it off and do something different. Let them reset for a minute and just kind of wander around a bit until they're happy, and then see what they give you at the different stances. Like if you stayed here, what do I know you're going to do from here? Well, if I'm standing here like this, I know you can throw an up block, right? See, now you changed it. So if you go there, I can go underneath you. Now this is one that'll work on Little John. Little John loves this. He comes out with a greatsword, you do this, he wants to do these. And you push on it again, he'll do this, or he'll do this, or he'll do this. He loves this. This gives him what he wants in his mind. The thing he doesn't like is this.
It's hard to do it.
Right. Like, this is threatening, right? He doesn't have the range we have because he's a greatsword. He's a big guy, but he's a greatsword. So he's kind of at best even. Most of the time they're behind. He's just so big he makes up for it. But if I reach out from here and give him a look like, I'm going to thrust you into junk, and he doesn't have a good answer for that, he's going to start slapping at it. But what's the problem with trying to slap at this, right? Right, it's hard to hit it because you're in parallel. You know, if he wants to go super sideways on it, great. Like, go ahead and slap it. Right? That's simple, not even hard. But he's not going to do that because he knows that's the outcome. So he's going to do a bunch of slaps down at it and try to do stuff until he gets frustrated. He's either going to back up and have to reset and figure out what the fuck's going on in his head. That's bad for him. Or he's going to come at me. If he comes at me, cool. Because he's going to pull up into a shot and I'm going to stab him.
He needs to come in line. He needs to not worry about that. He needs to drop his center and move it to one side of your paw.
It's hard for him to
Force you
he's
to
a
make
big
a
dude that's not very flexible.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it, but that's the answer to that.
Plus, honestly, you might watch this, I don't know.
You did it
But
with my
the,
two-sword, though, and it was hard to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, two swords, well, you know fighting. I mean, you honestly could have been single sword at that point. But but you still died plenty. I mean, it killed you so much more than I normally do.
No, I know. I thought you had the better of those.
Yeah,
I thought you were in
it
good
just was
shape.
weird. So, but yeah, mostly if you go with parallel, perpendicular, right? So perpendicular, I'm blocking, I'm maneuvering, I'm doing things. When I want to do a strike, I will go back into a parallel, or at least mostly parallel. So if you want to stop this from here, it's hard because you can't do it easily from parallel. Because these, even those are tough, right?
Yeah.
So now on the same hand, let's say we're both here, and you throw a thrust at me and I want to knock it aside, right? Why does that work?
Does that work?
Yeah. Do it again slow and watch.
On your strong side.
Yeah, but look at the weapons. They started parallel, right? What are they when we finish? Right, perpendicular. But why is that? Since I'm not moving it aggressively offline, why did that happen? Backhand, right? Spinning it over. Now, what's that do for me? I don't have to go the whole way. I exaggerated that, right? So if you're here like this, I only have to knock it a little way. So you throw a shot at me, boom, boom. Right? That's all I've got to do. And you'll notice that's what I'm doing for a thrust, right? Then when I turn it back, it's back. So you only have to do it a little bit.
Like right here. You don't have to.
Yeah, like right here, yep.
Yep. So we're here like this.
Yeah.
I got to throw at you. Here, let's do it again. So you'll be in the better spot. So all I have to do is knock this offline, right? And then turn it back. Don't overdo it. Just knock it a little bit when I move, and then follow it back up with a thrust. So there. Yep. A little too premature. Plus, you just went straight at me. Knock it down. Right. Because when they're down, they have a moment to have to recover, right? You have time. And, not tons, but more than enough to get a good shot. And if you don't, not too far offline, it doesn't take long. Better. Still a little spazzy at the start.
Yeah.
Better. Make sense?
Yeah.
As long as the concept makes sense, you get the rest of it. It just takes time to even up.
Can I borrow your gritters?
Yeah, yeah. Wherever they are. Probably in the car.
Squire took my freaking
You're gonna end up with dyed hands because they're a little sweaty, and so they, you know.
As long as I don't get the flesh-eating bacteria, I'll be all right.
Did you tell him not to download?
The newer gloves.
Yeah, mine did that too when I bought them. Hands got all red.
I got real worried about it. I bought a bunch of natural gloves for it, and so I'm using it for cooking matches. But they were they used to make my hands break out horribly, just rashes and blisters. It was pretty miserable. And then they got old enough where whatever dye or lanolin was in it went away. But the new ones, yeah, they still dye the skin, but they don't cause that rash. So I don't know if they changed something or he bought different gloves or what. But it's definitely better. A lot of times you see it ends up being fat. I'm a 52-year-old fat guy with a bunch of health problems. People still think I've got some type of miraculous ability to go quick on things. Like I'm making people do things for me to make it easy. Like if I can trigger you to do a certain set of moves or a certain stance, it doesn't have to work for me. And you've been around long enough, you know what people are getting. Like if you look at a person, they start to move a certain way, you know. Like he did it when he stood there with that thruster. Like you immediately know, okay, these are the options, this is what I do, move you through. You may not have thought all that, but part of your brain programmed to do that. So you got it. You just got to take advantage. All right, make sure we get this on camera. Lars.
This is going to be a Lars after action report of all the ways Lars fucked up.
And Hans.
Sure.
Hey, it's a pull-arm night. You'll be fine. Offline. You went too straight.
I was more concerned with getting my hand back on the weapon. You're right, though.
Yeah, offline though makes it harder for him. He can't just charge you down.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have kept coming there, really, realistically.
Yeah, or you would have run the ropes, one or the other.
Right.
Every shot at you jogging, I've pulled it.
Oh. I was wondering what the fuck happened there. Part of me was like, I probably shouldn't still be fighting. It doesn't seem like he's fighting right now.
Yeah, he was being nice, but to be honest, from this angle, I couldn't 100% tell. Like, you obviously threw it real light, but I couldn't tell if you hit the junk or if you missed or what.
He didn't touch it.
Okay,
yeah.
So he just was being overly nice.
Yeah.
In crown, make sure you hit that. You know, you don't have to take someone's testicles and put them up through the throat, but, you know, hit them.
Yeah. That was just you not thrusting now.
Yeah.
You would have had that.
I adjusted to where you moved your face through. It was still a little short, and I didn't step. I should have had it. You maneuvered in a way that was just beyond my skill. Felt weird though.
I took my pull arm and I folded down your pull arm, kind of like a file action or a rasp. Just threw it into a thrust.
Yeah.
So that whole time you shouldn't have been able to throw anything on me.
No, I definitely. I mean,
He was
felt
late.
Like I had the counter. Huh?
You were late. Like,
I was late.
Yeah.
it felt weird because, and I was late because it didn't feel good right away. But then in retrospect, I was like, there's no earthly reason that shouldn't have been good.
He hit you somewhere in the metal plate.
Yeah, I think you just hit me with a metal straw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was why I kept going.
From your standpoint, when he starts to do that, because that's kind of a slowish move, it should have been defense. Your brain went immediately offense.
Yeah. Yep.
Because you can just tell from the fact that your only reaction was to throw a shot late.
Yeah.
So instead of blocking him offline, getting the proper space and then hitting him.
The thing I don't like about it is you're open, and if I don't feel it and I have to go to like my mental records in the middle of a fight and say, no, that was probably good, there's going to be at least 6 people in Crown who just ignore it and hit you, right?
Yeah, especially depending on the weapon and armor. Like, his breastplate has got some beef to it, but it's not like mine.
No.
Like, that thing, there's a good shot that if you're amped up, you got some adrenaline rolling, and you've got armor like I've got, you're going to have to almost stop all their flow of momentum to get them to notice it.
Yeah, like in retrospect, the reason I would call it is because I felt the breastplate like move and dig into my belly.
Yep.
You're not going to feel that with a breastplate like that.
Well, you still feel them, but you feel it in your shoulders and your hips.
Oh, all right.
So, and they're not things you feel right away, because there's no, the impact isn't such that you notice it. You feel pressure. But again, if you're hyped up, adrenalized, and you see that open, you're like, oh, he missed, and you hit him, that you're going to have the discussion when the fight ends.
Yeah.
They're unlikely to call it instantly. It's more like, oh, wait, no, I think you hit me. What'd you think of that?
Yeah.
And then it becomes a debate on when the shot got thrown and who hit
And
who
that's
when.
and that's very much a, if they bring it up. Otherwise, you got to bring it up. And
Yeah,
they're
or
going to be defensive.
maybe your marshals will,
Just
but
weird.
probably not.
And I don't know what to do different there because I think it was the right action.
He came in too close to do that shot.
Okay.
That shouldn't have to be a medium range thrust. That should be, you could do that long range. The trick of it is, like what you did with that, right, was you had you wanted to do like, I'm trying to remember what you had. You had it here, right, and you pushed down through it kind of thing.
Yeah. So my big problem was that I came up.
Yeah,
like
but
here.
he was in a different spot. I'm just not doing the shot quite right. I wouldn't probably do this because that's too much action, where that's just easier.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything. I don't have to give range. And if he's going to come at me with that grip, he's immediately in a cut, right? So if he's there, it's just,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard. Because the focal point is this hand. So when he comes up, we're here. I'm looking at the opening here and throwing here, right? And if he knocks it aside, like, it's just going to go here. Like, you have to go so far off your body.
No, you
And
had it. You had it. Like I don't think I could block that.
Right, and it's a long traverse. And by the time I get to where your hand is, especially if he's in close, do this. Walk up next to him so you can see the side view. So we're here. He starts to push in. I come to here. How far am I from his body right now? Like, no,
your
the
tip?
tip, the tip.
Like 4 inches.
Right. How far would you have to take that to take it off his body? Just block it.
Like good foot.
Right. So who's going to make that faster?
You.
Because not only does he have to move it a foot, he has to move his weapon to some place where he can actually even hit it, right? So this is going to hit long before that weapon comes across, no matter how quick he is with his hands. It's just, and that's underneath the obvious focal point. I mean, there's another one here he can do, but this one, if he's going to give me that lower, thicker space, I'm going to take that because I can really hammer it. I can take your momentum and everything. If I go up here and he's slippery in the shoulders, I might hit and slide, and then I'm really bumped. Because he was already coming loaded for bear. That's going to be tough. But if you do miss that, like say we're here and he knocks it, you know, I go for here and he knocks it away. So I'm here, right? And he keeps coming. Keep this elbow behind your weapon. Don't do this. Don't chop this
That's
off.
horrible.
But this is in line, and I'm pushing right into his hand. Right? This sucks. Everything about this sucks.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is get to where I can go here and come back to here, and now we're back. All right?
Now we're neutral.
Yeah, well, sort of. Not really.
You're up on me?
Yeah.
Even over the swim, huh? Yeah, because you have the line in the head. So here.
I have this, and I have, like, now that's not true, but when you were standing here and you were square,
Yeah.
it's just, I can either try to go for this, which is not great,
Right.
but I've got this arm underneath,
Yeah.
so it's this, and then go.
Yeah. Right.
It depends on, it feels safe. It's not as safe as you think it is.
Yeah,
It's
no, that's
not
fine.
instant death. It's just not, it's not safe.
Yeah. No, I was looking swimming. It wasn't as open as it should.
Yep.
Get in your stance real quick.
For like a long range kind of thing,
Yeah.
probably, like if I'm being super lazy, this.
So one of the problems I had there was when we're here and I want to traverse in, I have to move this leg forward, which means I'm neutral, right? I don't want to be neutral. I want to step off line. So either I have to move here, or I have to come here and move. Same problem. All right.
Why don't you start more square?
What's that?
Why don't you start more square? Square, like this, instead of.
Go ahead, start square.
Yeah, no, that's bad.
That's what I
So,
do.
but right leg low forward is correct.
It depends what you're doing. Like this doesn't have the range of the chest,
Right.
but this is easier to retreat back into a long thrust
Okay.
because I'm just moving my feet into like I'm making some timing, but I'm getting back my range. So if we're here and you come forward and I do this, I have all my range again.
Right, and I'm short. Yeah. I'm losing those on my movement, though.
Yeah,
Right.
a little bit.
So I need to fix that.
You're giving me gaps, and that gap over your wrist is the bad one.
Yeah.
Over and under it. You, it's the hip and the shoulder, usually. Like sometimes you give me one, sometimes you give me the other. When you do, you don't always.
So
But,
where
like,
is your
occasionally
standard?
I-
Where is your standard close? So we're here, we're neutral, and you want to initiate close on me.
I want to come to you.
Yeah.
I go to here and then I see what you do from here.
So go back. So whereas I'm riding it straight up, you're coming under to my.
I'm pushing.
Yeah. That's what I thought I was doing. Go back. That's what I thought I was doing with this, but I'm not. I need to come here. Is that the right angle? That side?
You're sideways though. It's not.
Or is it the other side?
So we're here. There's a couple things I don't like about what you're doing right now. So go back in the guard real quick. Keep in mind I don't have balance on
Right.
because your hand's open up.
Because my hand is what?
You're doing this instead of this.
Here?
And you're also loosening your hand.
Alright.
Does everybody notice that? No, but I'm going to. You would too. It's like that guard there, I might be able to knock it loose, but it's going to be like that kind of thing. It's not going to be sideways, you have to go through your thumb.
Right, and that's what Hans was getting me on too.
Right, which is this guard, right?
Right.
Also, because of that, it keeps your arm straighter, which takes that opening over your wrist away.
I need to work on that. It's so not natural for me.
I know. It's super awkward. But once
But
you
how
get
do I
used to it,
move,
it's hard
how
not
do I get to you safe without giving that undercut?
You want to ride the angle like your shield.
That's what I'm trying to do, but I'm not doing it right.
No, because you're not doing the angle. So, if you're here like this, right?
Uh-huh.
You want to come over in this direction. So you need to get under and push up while sliding the weapon down my way. Too direct. And not enough under.
Too what?
Too direct and not enough under. The reason that won't work, go ahead and do that exact same thing again. Yeah, you did it different. But your head was open before.
Okay.
The difference here.
I'm
on your
still
guard-
twisted in a bad way. I don't like it.
Yeah, go for it. Frank. So you're here, right? So then I want to close on you. Right?
All right, go ahead. You are, and that's what I was checking. You are stepping with that back foot.
Yeah.
Better?
Somewhat. Just look where we are.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
No, because this is not great, and this is sort of an advantage. That's modestly good. It's defensively okay for me.
Right.
It's not great offense.
Right.
And this is high in general, so I can try to get to here and then let you ride it.
Right.
Now it's just you wasting energy.
Oh, I feel okay here.
No energy, right?
Yeah. No, you're in good shape.
Plus, if
I
you
also
pull
not
off
moving
bad-
my hands close enough.
Yeah, if you pull off bad from this, like if you push down,
Oh,
it'll be that.
right.
Like if you push down too much to try to collapse me, I can slide it off, let it go down,
Okay.
and hit. Because this doesn't really need to do anything, right? It's just a channel lock.
Yeah.
So this is the one that needs to be free, right?
Yeah.
And the rest of it's this kind of thing. You're not always going to hit it every time, but it's pretty safe.
So, in general, though, less this and more this.
You're pushing it out, push it up. You're trying to get into a cutting situation, right?
Yeah.
So, this
All right.
kind of thing, more. Better.
Better?
Yeah, because see now I'm in a long grip and you're in a medium grip.
Yeah.
That's not great for me.
Right.
If you
This isn't my plate.
if you swim it,
I'm too low though.
correct. But now pivot to your right and swim with the bottom.
What?
It's fine.
Pivot your feet to your
Oh,
face
yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
Right, now push it down. Nope. Push it down with your left hand. Yeah, and now step through it. Yep.
Okay.
One option. There are others. You can take that swim a bunch of ways and get different cuts
When do
out.
you move your top hand?
When do I?
Yeah.
Well, if I do it right, I should do it when you move. So if we're here like this.
when you close, move your top
Oh.
hand. Oh, you do it as you're moving.
Yeah. It's with a step.
All right.
Because this is all blocked.
I'm
right?
moving my back hand with my step.
Yeah, you're going to go somewhere. That's why I'm doing it straight at you instead of left or right.
Go back.
You're almost always going to run left or right.
Okay.
Yes.
So my move here is to step through this way. And get back to me, right, and you have to follow. Now I have to turn this leg.
Let me get on top. There we go.
It's a little hard to do some of those things without getting myself grinded on the metal.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
No, you're fine. I was just trying to make sure my hands don't get stuck.
Yeah.
The so from your point of view, do the same thing we were just doing. Lars. Like, let's say you throw a thrust and it doesn't work right, or you're about to throw a thrust but he jumps you first. Right? Let's see what you do naturally. Because your opposite hand back for one. Yeah, not hard. That wasn't super bad. The your grips are a little wonky, and I feel like you're making really big, slow circles. Did you give him some time to survive, or do you have advantage? Because your stance is even stronger than his stance in some of those spots. That's where he was rolling you off and pushing you.
Yeah.
And you retreat it more. Yes, a little bit. But the yeah, you're also running straight away.
Yeah.
Like you can take a step back and make range. You can't run like that. Go left or right a bit. You'll see another thrust angle, another cut.
You're also not dangerous. You're throwing like I counted 2 solid, maybe 1 passive opportunity in there that I didn't take because I wanted to see what was going on and learn the positions. And all of your shots were coming right in my goal.
So reset back that way.
You're what?
Well, fight for real Lars. Not Lars. Sorry. Thomas.
Are we doing the same drill where I come in or no?
Yeah, you're still gonna, well, you're gonna fight, but try to see if you can incorporate that. Take what he gives you.
I wanted to. That's why I'm asking you about it because I don't want to thrust him at range because he's better.
Yeah, well, exactly. And that is the difficulty. You're going from a coin flip to slightly less than a coin flip at best. Because he's significantly better on his thrusting game. You can hit it, but you're maybe 40-60, and that's not good.
In close?
No, range.
Oh, range. Yeah.
Yeah,
At best.
so, but if you're going close, you're no worse than 50-50 and probably ahead in some cases. Because once you get real close, it's a big advantage. He's not a real close fighter. So mid-range and long range, he's going to have some things he naturally does that are pretty good. But where he got dangerous again in the last one is when he pushed you away.
Yeah.
So long range, the push away, everything else is at best neutral. Really, what that's from your standpoint, you want to fix. You want to get your close range to be as deadly as you want. Not many people linger in especially with Rick. It doesn't happen. So I do it against Gunther because that's his weakest spot.
Yeah.
He's good at range. He's just impossible in close most of the time. He turns you into a T-ball. But the yeah. So B range important. A range and C range more important. So and your A range is a little weak. Your C range is good. So your goal, get to A range, take what he gives you. So thrust, sure. Yours is, kill him whenever you can, but work on A.
Good. Yeah.
It's good. The creativeness at the end is what got you the kill. Otherwise, you just.
Yeah. Get behind.
It just took you too long to get there. Like you threw 4 shots that were never good. They weren't even distractions. Like they kept you on your heels a little bit, but they didn't change you on your guard. They didn't change your plan of attack. They were just tiny. and they didn't improve your position.
Yeah.
The place you got him is when he tried to transition to the kill on you, you were quick and got the thrust on him. That's you being good and being quick. He had a good plan, they just executed a little slowly because he's not used to doing it.
Yeah. No, that's a great read. That's exactly what happened.
So,
In my head, at least.
well, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not an 80-person armor, but you guys move pretty good. You did better about keeping cross so that you can go off balance.
For the past couple of years. She really likes
Too many
it.
shots are not.
That's where she is right now. Like,
They don't have to kill in shots necessarily, but they have to be somehow
Threatening.
occupying cycles in his brain. His battle computer has to account for it, not just float.
All your shots are doing is saying, you don't get to throw at me at this precise second, right? And if I get 10% better than I am now, all of those shots, well,
Get me killed.
that's wrong. If I get 10%, 1 out of 4 of those shots get you killed. If I get 25% better, all of those shots get you killed.
Yeah, it's not a straight line.
No.
And the other thing is too, they read mentally.
that she was, you couldn't really tell
As
she was
death.
Yeah, totally.
And so,
Yep.
And
like,
the
we
problem
know
with that,
this
of
kid
course,
who's been
is
in it
that
for 6 years.
much like eating is partly with your eyes, fighting is partly with your
Yeah.
attitude. Right? If you're confident and you're going through things and you look like you know what you're doing, it's going to put people on their heels a bit just because of that.
Yeah.
When you do something where like you look pretty good up until you threw those couple things,
Yeah.
and that changed him from being not 100% certain to being afraid.
Yeah. Yep.
And that changed a lot. Now
Yes.
you pulled it out in the end again because you're better with the style. You saw an opening, you took it, you got it. That's
Yeah.
great. But it shouldn't have been a double kill.
Yeah.
That should have been you killing.
And in addition, to a degree, that's another thing that once I get over, it's gone, because what got you that kill was that desperation, because I read it as desperation. So I got like over aggressive and discounted your attack, and you snuck one in. If I don't have that, if I have more foresight, I'm gonna shut that down, right? So,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. And it's not like you suck, Hans.
No, you're great.
Good. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to walk out with.
I mean, he is beating my ass, Tom.
But part of the ego is because we're assholes. Part of the ego is because it helps you win.
Oh yeah.
And you don't have to be an asshole. It's like everybody hates. I mean, you can just be an asshole. Like we joke about being assholes all the time, in a lovingly sort of way. But it's just taking advantage of the thing mentally when it's like you know that's what you're doing.
Yeah, and just so you know, it's not just you. I just started fighting two-sword against him to get Conrad Squire doing it, and we're probably going 50-50, and I feel horrible about it because I'm losing 50% of my fights to Tom, which I never do, and he feels horrible about it because he's losing 50% of his fights to a two-sworder, which he never does, and he's like, you shouldn't be this good, you've never picked up two-sword, and I'm like, but I know how to fight.
It makes a difference. Like when I pick up the sword and shield and do well, everybody gets kind of annoyed with that. But I've seen enough people fight it. I think about fighting. I do watch it and learn. I just don't like to do it. And but I can execute it against most mid-level and below. Easy. Against high-end people, occasionally I get a kill. Knights that are not necessarily super high-end, but at the same time suck. They're giving up to go to the wrong place. In this case, you're taking it seriously, which is fine. That's good. You want to do it. But you need to calm your mind. Just go with the I'm going to kill you. Taking his lunch money,
You still want me to miss the thrust?
huh?
You still want me to miss the thrust?
No, do whatever you need to do.
Oh, okay.
I just want
No,
you to
you
make sure.
softballed that last thrust a little too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way he meant that today.
Do what you need to do to win, but the main focus is when you get to A range, work on stuff in the A range. That's your weakest spot. For Lars, he's working on a bunch of stuff, but his thrust game is mediocre. Right? It's too rigid. It needs to be fluid. His in game is pretty good because it's jujitsu.
I need to work more of that, but I need to work it against people. I'm not just going to take a beating over the floor.
Yeah. And your hands are a little wrong, but you're doing better. There's good things there. The other thing is you did this kind of thing where you lean back.
Yeah, I'm trying to get spaced the wrong way.
Yeah, which still lets you move, but it doesn't give you the ability to move your feet.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
All
In my own
right,
head.
cool.
How are you investing? I'd said the reason he got knighted in Baltimore was
Yeah. I should have hit his body.
when he does that one-handed thing, the answer to that is a armbar. Just don't finish the armbar. You basically pull it out and then you backhand. So like, I actually hate my own camera.
Bowling's fucking tiring, man.
It's because you're tensing up. Hans isn't tired. Look at him.
I see him huffing a little. He is also like at least 10 years younger than me.
It's like close range stuff. I'm used to.
It's a bit more monkeyish.
Looked kind of odd. Like it kind of didn't stick, but it hit you.
Yeah. I don't know what I'd call that.
It was weird from the outside.
It like, I slipped it, so it slipped, but it stuck before it slipped. But I don't feel any impact or pain, right? I just know that it stuck a little.
The angle was off. Like
I'd probably
so.
call it.
You know how we were talking earlier about those up swipes being off? That one was going outbound. Like it hit, but it wanted to go this way anyway. So when you slipped a little bit, it stuck a touch and then just kind of went.
Yeah.
It almost looked like a double hit. Like it hit, slipped, hit, slipped.
I didn't feel that at all.
But yeah, I don't know for sure. That's what my mind's eye
I felt it
think
stick
about.
here where I literally have no armor.
Yeah. I saw it. hit outside
And
the
I
armor.
mean,
it looked like it hit here, maybe went off the
Yeah.
shoulder pad or something in the shirt you're wearing. I don't know.
no armor should be super clear cut though.
Yeah, it should stick. You should feel it for sure.
Yeah.
It's just that angle when you're throwing across yourself and going over there. Kind
And I don't feel good about it though. I don't like being touched on something that should kill me and getting the win just because it didn't land right. You know what I mean?
yeah, those are never great.
That's a fight that you should have. So.
He just missed his angle a little bit.
Yeah.
He gets that slightly different. He stops you in your tracks.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I can't even move forward.
Right.
Yep.
You dropped your guard to go for a kill, but he was cocked in front of you. That's
Bad. Yeah.
quick question. Where do you feel your spider sense kick off on him? When you feel under threat?
I think that's part of the range, but when I close, I don't, and I should.
Right. Well, but so go to your guard and go back to a point where you feel like you're safe. Then, no, backwards. You're coming in. Like, what's the furthest point you can be where you still feel safe from him? Like, you should feel under threat from this at that range. Like, that's an easy hit. So you should have something in your brain saying, I'm under threat here.
Yeah, a little.
So move back just a touch to your mouth. Right?
All right.
That's about right? Yeah. So that's your safe zone, right? Because I feel like when I'm watching, I'm feeling like you're misreading your threat zones. Like it's just not quite lining up because maybe sword and shield. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
But so here at this zone, you should feel just about outside of his range.
I feel fine.
Yep. So move 1.5 steps in. A little more. All right. That should feel definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. That you want to live. That's where you want to be. And the reason is because it'll put him under pressure too.
Right, I need to put pressure on him. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
That's why. All right, good. I'm glad you went there because when you're like step back where you're safe, I'm like, but then he's not in threat.
Right. I wanted to make sure we worked both. One, I had to know where you thought it was.
Yeah.
Because you don't look like you're in the right place.
Yeah.
And your responses seem to, the way you're responding to his threats makes me feel like you aren't sure where you're under threat sometimes. Because you're bounding away from thrusts that are not going to hit you.
Right.
Or you're bounding away in a couple cases on thrusts that you could have just blocked and walked in.
That's the problem, right? By the time because I counted 3 thrusts, that by the time I closed with him, he was already covered back up.
Right. But you're partly because you're off, you're not ready to go.
Yeah.
Like if you can be comfortable where you're under heavy threat, like you know this is a bad spot to be to stand here, kind of thing. If you can deal with that and get the block from there, you're one step from being in control of the fight.
I got it. I got it.
And from your standpoint, similar kind of thing, right? Like I know you're not uncomfortable with that. You know where the threat is. But it's not being really super threat. Your face is punch. But you need to be able to figure out where and when you can take advantage of that. And when he goes, if you miss that long range thrust, and you know he's coming, you got to know where do I need to be for that area. Like what do I have to do to get choked up? What do I have to do for footwork? What do I want to do for angle? What's he present? All that has to be real quick. Right? And your answer usually is bounding away. Bounding away works to a point, so I'm not saying don't do it at all, but in a tighter list field it won't work. You know, you're going to run out of room. And it also isn't buying anything. It's getting a little bit of time and space, but not enough. You can manipulate that better if you can control what he's doing. Right? That's not control so much what he's doing, that's controlling battle space a bit. But you're not doing anything with Lars. You may be extending some time. You want to take the fight away. You want to take his stuff away. He's trying to do the same thing to you. And in certain shield, he does it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like that's all you do. You just take things away from people, and half the time you let them try stuff in there, and they just are doomed. So, which I do the same thing in this. It's good and bad, right?
Yeah.
So, when in a fight, you want them to feel hopeless. It just gets easier. So, if you're ready for him and you counter it, you're going to get him. Plus, you don't have to worry about the foot. Left or right, fine. Straight back, try to avoid that. Maybe one step back, but now pop. I know it's kind of the thing you do and it works pretty good. It's just a matter of trying to give you some other things that you can use that will help you against people that try to run you over. Because if Sword and Shield, they catch that first one, your only response is going to be whack, 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 whack as you're running away.
Well, the other thing is, and this is going to be kind of hard to hear, but are you happy with where you're at right now, skill-wise? Because if you don't do the stuff we're telling you to do, you're never going to get any better. You do what you do as well as someone can do it.
Pretty close. I think he can improve somewhat.
Maybe. Yeah, but I mean,
is he going to get to be world killer level kind of stuff from it? I don't think so. I've never seen anyone do it.
and you're talking a monumental amount of effort for a minor gain. If you incorporate the stuff we're telling you, you'll make big gains in a pretty short amount of effort.
Hopefully.
Yeah, you should, if you get it.
The trickiest thing here is the right hand back thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a mirror. You can make it work. Like lefties, you should utterly annihilate lefties with any of the stuff we showed you without changing a thing. Because it's everything I'm doing is righty, you do it as a lefty. So, but there aren't very many lefties. So,
Lefties eat my lunch.
yeah. Oddly enough, Wu would be a good person to work on this too. Because she spent a couple years now trying to figure out some of this stuff. And she desperately wants to fight it better, but she can't do left hand back or anything. So, it's she's working on it. But she's mostly right hand back too. Same with Skio. He's tried it a couple times, but he's still right hand back.
She gets so fixated on people being stronger than her that she tries to be strong back, and it fucks her.
Yeah, she does the reach thing you did against Lars earlier too, where
Yeah.
she wants to get out here and do that, and she'll bring up that butt spike pretty quick.
Bad.
But it tends to be, she gets to the wrong place, and it tends to be this kind of thing instead of inbound. It's a slap. And it's just difficult. But she's good with it. Like, it's about as good as I've seen people do with it. It's just, I don't think, there's nowhere to go with it. That's
Yeah.
as good as it's probably ever going to be.
Ready?
So, cool. You're a moment late on remembering the hands. Right before you tried to take that long range cut, that should have been a choke up. That would have helped you a lot on the attempt. For you, he hit your tail. Like that thrust came back and hit your tail right at the beginning. He did a spin and throw. It didn't catch your face, but it caught the bit of your tail that sticks out. Your tail flipped.
It didn't feel like a kill. Like I felt it hit me, but not.
I didn't see it hit your face. I just saw your tail flip a bit and your head move.
Right, with no good, right?
I think not.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I felt the tail. I didn't know it was directly the tail. I thought it was my coif.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure
No,
he caught one of
The
those.
tail makes more sense. The tail
Yeah.
moved more than the coif will.
Yeah.
just missed him because I missed.
He did a good block off the front end of your pole, though.
What's that?
He doesn't, where he hit that for the block, he doesn't have to move it very far to knock it offline. So he did do a pretty good block on that.
Yeah.
So.
I had a space though where his block didn't reach. I just missed.
Yeah.
It was a nice block though. You're right.
For the position where he hit it, yes, it's a panic block. That's not great, but the fact of where he hit it on your weapon to knock it away was good positioning.
It wouldn't have been a kill anyway. It would have been his hip pocket.
It's a kill.
Not with thrust.
Not with thrust.
It's only with strikes.
Mass is like force, like big. The cut wood.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty much standing in B range.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
That's what you told me to do.
Yeah. Yeah, long B, short C, something like that.
You're a short C.
Yeah.
I'm a long B.
Can't help. Yeah, genetics are genetics, man.
Yeah, I could tell it was different because now I feel fine. But where I was before, I felt like you could muscle me more. Because I was closer to your power.
I didn't like it either because you're a lot closer.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I liked it.
Yeah.
And I like what Tom's, like what you said is I think paying off. Like I feel better.
Yeah, it's threatening, but you can control it.
Yeah. And I'm cutting his angles. Whereas before I was just trying to be quick and move, like almost desperate with my movement.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Edge. Unless you want to get in my car.
I'm gonna put him in the trunk.
That could be better.
It felt like,
yeah, I was gonna say.
I should have thrust you at the end.
You kind of got halfway there to change mine.
Yeah. I didn't have time to switch my hands, so I cut you, and I should have thrust you, but your whole body language said I'm dead, so I did.
So his whole thing, like, you guys are out here, he threw down kind of your lower body level, right? I don't know how much you hit that, or you just kind of missed it a bit, but it
Caught
wasn't...
my index finger.
Okay. So it wasn't super great, right? Again, that's one where if you step this way and you throw it, it changes the angle while you're throwing it, and it gets much harder to stop the reciprocal. So you might grab a leg, but that'll also disrupt the return shot. But the return shot, when you came to here, you kind of wanted to do this, like you're trying to do this, but because you were here, you came to here, and you can thrust, cut, slap, and then but if you're not 100% certain on those when you're reaching, instead of going for the face, just drop it into that pocket.
Yep.
That'll work most of the time.
I am so built to cut though that thrusting is I have to mentally switch to it. So, but you're right. That's absolutely what I should have done because that shoulder pocket's wide open.
How did you throw that shot again?
Yeah, that's
I don't know how much he's
very much.
Yeah, because if you...
So you want to move back?
Yeah, like you kind of along that, because it'll give you that angle and that snap, but in that step. So you could step from here to here, kind of thing, but I would suggest going from here to here. You're still getting the angle, but you're cutting some distance too. And then that'll determine, like sometimes you'll cut, when you do that cut for a thrust, cut, so you're here, you're lined up, and you want to go to that hip, right?
Yeah.
So if I go here and throw it, maybe I get there, maybe I don't. But there's another option you can do. Instead of going this way, say you're out here like this, you push them up a bit. Now, kind of not doing the right thing with that, right?
No, I should have moved.
Right, but I can get that tighter angle and pull it around instead of that. So that would be half. Because this is still slow. This is, so you can do a quick move. It's just hard because you have to. I don't just want to throw that after he throws his shot, just to make sure I'm safe. Because if we're out here playing and I try to go for that cut too soon, I'm opening myself up to too much.
Yeah.
But if I'm here like this and I keep him up a bit, and then he moves it off, or like loose or whatever. I mean, I'm not trying to hit that particularly hard.
Yeah. No, I didn't get my reaction was to come up with my pole arm to block the face thrust.
Yep, which is why you push that. It's the same thing as jerking at somebody again. If he's out here like that and we're playing around a bit, and then I do that, his reaction is want to be quick. Now this is a sensation down the body, right? So if I go here like this, like that. But I have to make sure this happens.
Right.
Like just slap at it, it's going to miss it.
And then when we're here and I feel that jerk, I gotta come.
Or you have to push through it. Like you pulled up. So, go right here. Alright, so we're doing this one.
Jesus, this feels weird.
Yeah. So you push it up, right?
Yeah.
Instead of going that way. Now I've got two shots here, right?
Yeah.
I can try for this, or I can go for that one over the top.
Right.
Which is really, you want to make sure you're at that point here. Because what happens, well, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. That's the one I don't like. Because I feel like there's too much. It's parallel to my pole arm, and it's just an angle that's going to be hard for me to do.
Yep, you just push across.
Yeah.
So if they get lined up inside like this, know that's there. Nope. Push it there. Right, because now if they try it, they can come to here, but you can push all the way through it. Take your hand, push it to my hip pocket. Then you've got a backhand, you've got control, you can swim, you can do all types of stuff.
Okay.
But again, it's just going for the defense. You're taking his offense away.
Yeah.
From your standpoint, obviously, look at those different ranges to see what one works for you. That long range, you like your long range. You can make that work. It's just going to be slow. But if you off time it, you might catch him in between, which is, if you can make him hit, you hit him there and it's right.
I freaked out on it. I had it and I moved that the wrong way.
Yeah, that's Slovenia.
It's what I wanted. It's just not.
Like it grows the town.
My movement wasn't solid.
Sure. You didn't have faith that you were going to get it either.
Yes, correct. And if I hadn't have moved, there's every chance in the world he would have hit me with this counter.
Yeah.
Did I hit with a fist or was it
Maybe both.
maybe both?
It's too fast, too tight. Couldn't tell you for sure.
Yeah.
But
We'll see on the video. I might have punched you.
yeah, you definitely looked like it could be right, but it also could have been a fist. So
Yeah. What did it feel like?
I'm trying to stay calm and fluid with that. We were up real close.
Yeah. there's a subtle balance in range that plays there.
It's really pretty. It is gorgeous.
And up until now, you had been doing it correctly. You had been here,
And any water.
leaning on me a little bit, and that interrupts what I'm doing, right? That time, dead at the garden, you were here, leaning on me. You feel how much more free you are to move?
Right here.
Right? So now, like, see how I'm out? How easy is this to control? Because I'm here. And yeah. But now, look, no, you did that wrong. Because now, do that. Now you pushed me, no, push out like you did. Now you pushed me to the same exact spot. I have control and you don't. So now it's this, boom. This is weak. This is strong, right? So that's what happened. You were just, you weren't here, you were here, right?
Yeah. It's right. So you're out here like this. It's this.
Yeah.
Right? It's just an arm bar and pulling it across. Except instead of taking your arm with arm, you reach out with your weapon like this, and we're just doing this.
Right. Now do that same thing, like so. Now have your arm just to show you what we're talking about. So I'm pushed out, and he does it to me. No, do it to me. No, arm bar.
What do you want to do?
Arm bar. So, boom. Right? There's nothing I can do to fight that. It hurt. This hurts. All right. Go ahead, arm bar me. All right. Not in a million years.
Not even a weight.
Yeah.
Because you did, right?
How
Arm
strong?
bars work because people do this.
Weak.
Or you can make them do this. Like where he was there, because he's super, like, it would be bad of me in a jiu-jitsu sense to even try that arm bar when he's in that space.
That's what I said. I don't know if you caught it. I said arm bar me, and I have my arm like this, and he gave me this look like fuck you.
Yeah, like if I'm wearing armor, this is gonna hurt even out armor. Damn it.
Yeah, sorry.
You're fine.
Big time.
Hands cramping?
No, your thing lays a little under, and his angle hit the finger right on it.
Oh yeah.
And then even when he was sticking around after it, he barely touched me. It was like, okay, that hurts.
Okay, fair enough. Good enough, do you think?
Plus, I think we filled this head.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. That's cool. I thought you did pretty good, Hans.
I thought so. I mean, you kicked my ass as well.
Yeah.
I felt better at the end, though. That what you said about being in control in the right space.
Yeah.
It's the same thing I need to do in boxing.
Yeah.
Because in boxing, I've been